All right, here we are, Bonfire Banter. We're doing another gun episode because the gun episode ended up being one of our lost episodes. So we couldn't wait to get Dave back out here and kind of talk about some stuff. We're going to do a little show and tell tonight, which is a little different than last time. We didn't bring any guns on.
Not at all, yeah.
So we're more legitimate now, and we're not as worried about the people on YouTube telling us we can't be bringing guns on set. So we're going to do it. We also have Jordan out here doing his bonfire barbecue again tonight, and we're going to start with that because he's got a child here that is a little unruly. Jordan, what are you making for us tonight? Speak loudly, please.
We're going to be making some beef kebabs.
Okay.
Tonight, and then I got a little bit of béarnaise sauce to go with them, too.
A little béarnaise. So what did you do to prep these skewers?
So basically all I did was I just bought some wooden skewers.
Okay.
And I chopped up some round eye, which is beef, basically beef ass.
Beef ass, okay.
I cut it into little cubes, and then I had some bell peppers that I chopped up, and I put them all on the skewer, kind of just like in a nice little formation there.
There you go. So did we get any, was this from our meat guy or no?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay. So we might have a plug here coming soon on our meats.
Maybe, yeah.
So,
grill it up, baby. But yeah.
So you're oiling the grill like you did the last time, so we don't stick.
Everything from sticking. Yeah.
Okay.
How do we do there? And then I'm gonna put the kebabs on. They're only gonna go on for a few. Probably the dog doesn't eat them first. They're probably only gonna go on for 5 to 10 minutes, not that long, because they're already cubed, so you don't have to let them cook that much internally.
Okay.
So they're gonna cook pretty quick. And then I'm gonna eat.
All right, sweet. Do you when you put those babies on the grill, do you salt and pepper? Do you season them?
These ones no, because I have sauce that goes with them.
There you go. How'd you make the béarnaise?
So it's basically just oh guys, it's basically just like egg yolks. It's a little bit of white vinegar, some dill is what I use.
Okay.
And then basically it's just a ton of butter.
Ton of butter.
2.5 sticks of butter.
Okay.
1.5 stick you use to cook your onions and stuff on, and then you kind of like render them down, and then you drain the onions out of the render, and you use that to mix in at the end, and then you take a blender and you put 2 sticks of melted butter in it, and all your seasonings, and you blend it together so it gets all like puffed up, like cloudy. So
Okay.
it's cloudy and like puffed up, and then you add your rendered in. You add your rendered in onions, basically onion juice into that, and that's very nice.
Okay,
Not
sweet.
very hard to make.
Well, let's see you lay down a couple of these bad boys, and we'll go from there. So tonight you don't have like a cooling and hot side, huh?
Nope, it's just all
Just cooking them up. And how long do you say you keep them on for?
Not that long. I'm gonna just play it by eye, but usually it's about 5 or 10 minutes.
All right, sweet.
About halfway through.
All right, I might have another little video coming here soon of these babies cooking up, but we will be trying them later on here on the episode. Bonfire Banter, signing out. So, let's bring him out. Let's see what he's got. We're going to be tasting this. Jordan has cooked some kebabs up for us.
Oh, Smoking Jordan's coming in hot.
So, Jordan, thank you so much. Yeah, grab one. I'm going to take one here.
Oh, my goodness.
All right.
Some of them are just all meat. So
Hey, I'm looking for these veggies.
I'm all meat.
And Jordan didn't have any manners. Like the woman is supposed to be served first.
Oh.
No, I'm vegan. Just kidding.
No, I was like, oh, threw me for a loop.
Like, oh, shit.
So let's introduce everyone here. We got Jade Rockwell, first time guest here. We're going to get her signing the axe tonight. Thank you so much for jumping out here tonight, Jade.
Yeah, so first
Get you over here, yeah.
first podcast, so I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing that's okay. So I'll eat on there. I'm good.
You're
with
on the
that.
right show for not knowing what you're doing. Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, cheers.
Absolutely.
Cheers. Thanks, man.
Cheers. Yeah. Coven.
It's fine. But
we didn't eat it yet. So yeah.
It's all right.
So we also have Dave DuBose. That's
how you doing?
Like I said, he's a concealed carry instructor and much more, but he's going to be talking about that in just a second. And we got Joe back on.
Howdy.
Bazooka Joe's back on the
Hey, those are my stashios.
the panel here. And Joe is a gun enthusiast. He owns a few guns. If you talk to his wife, he owns a few less
Fortunately,
than he
I
owns.
lost them all in that boating accident.
Oh, yeah.
Tragic.
Tragic. So, Dave, one of the things that I know people are been clamoring about is your concealed carry classes. So first off, let's just start by plugging the hell out of you and saying, tell us about your company, what you do with that, and tell us when you're running your next class, and let's get some promos going.
All right, when we talk about firearms, you don't want to plug anybody, okay? So let's try not to plug me.
Poor terminology.
Yeah. Boom, boom. But no, yes, my name is David DuBose. I'm an Illinois concealed carry instructor as well as an NRA certified instructor. My business is FAST, Firearm Safety Training. And when you think about firearm safety, think FAST.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that's the camera right there I'm looking at? Got no lights on the cameras here.
You got the wide there. We got your tight there. This is my tight, so when I'm trying to get on...
Tight, even tighter. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to look me up, you can find me on Facebook under David DuBose or look for FAST, Firearm Safety Training, or email me directly at daviddubose11, so it's 11 at yahoo.com.
Sweet. Dave, first question. How are those kebabs?
Oh, delicious. Delicious here. We got an all beef kebab here. We got a
It's
couple
a
of
hollandaise
veggies
sauce.
on
What is that?
Minimal
Yeah.
veggies. I
Béarnaise.
We got a
appreciate
béarnaise, yeah.
Béarnaise?
Medium
Yeah.
rare.
The Bears.
I know nothing about
I
culinary.
was going to say the
nothing.
Bears.
I
The
listened
Bears
to the whole
created
thing.
that.
It was good.
The Berenstein Bears. They did that. They created it.
Bernstein
The
or
Bernstein?
Bernstein?
Berenstain.
I think it was a Bernstein. Like
Mandela effect. Yeah. Mandela
I got one of those
effect.
in my pants during one of these episodes. I got a burn stain. But
damn, coming in hot tonight.
so Dave, as far as your concealed carry classes go, when is the next one here? Because people have been asking.
I didn't plan one out. I took a little break towards the end of 2020.
Yeah.
Because it got hot. It got real hot. They got real hot about guns at the end of 2020.
Yeah. I wonder why.
It got hot again. Still hot. So things kind of started picking up. I was doing them pretty much every other weekend.
Yeah.
So I had to take some time for the family. It was a holiday season. I wanted to take some time for me and the family. And then 2021 hit. I've been getting messages, phone calls, emails nonstop. So we do have one coming up. In March is the next one planned, but now, even just coming here, your crew,
The Bonfire
it's actually
Banter crew is clamoring
is on
for
me.
one.
So I might be even doing one next weekend. But the next bigger one we have is in March, so it'll be March 2021. If anybody wants any information on it, feel free to find me on Facebook, email me, anything.
If you want
like
to put
that.
it out there right now, when you guys see this video, there is a special Bonfire Banter concealed carry class that we're trying to get going. February, what is the date? 7th? I think Sammy told me the 7th. I don't know, something like that. It's like a Friday, Saturday, first week in February.
Perfect.
That's what we're shooting for, to get Dave to do one. But it's the Bonfire Banter
Shooting
family. It's got to
for.
come together, and we got to find enough people to make it worth his while there. So let's try to figure that out, because I want it to happen a little sooner, and so does Sammy. So
Yeah, count me in.
absolutely. Jade, how you feeling about that skewer?
Pretty good. I was wondering actually if I could throw it in the fire. It's probably
Absolutely. Oh, no, we burn only high-end woods. Holy mahogany.
Rich mahogany.
Cherry or walnut?
Why do you think it smells like that, Jade?
I'm actually so excited about the fact that you know, like, we can ask you questions. This is
ask me
perfect
anything.
timing.
Yes.
Wait, let me not choke on air.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm not on air, so I can choke. It's just fine. So I'm excited about the fact that you're doing this, and it's perfect timing because I'm way late to the game, and that I'm a huge supporter of, just don't kill anybody. Do what you want. Support
Depends what
yourself.
they're doing.
But protect yourself.
Yeah, protect
What are they doing to me or
yourself.
my family?
But I'm so late to the game in that I'm somebody who definitely supports the Second Amendment. And I literally, right before I had messaged you about, can I say that? I found you on Craigslist.
Absolutely.
I found you on Craigslist. I found another guy, and one other guy was like, send me a picture. So I sent him ape tits, as one does as a female.
You have my shirt on?
They were nice.
That is fucked up, dude.
How did you get that picture of yourself?
Seriously. Someone's been creeping on my phone.
But I'm excited that, this is perfect timing because mostly my questions are mental health. Just kidding. I know you guys just first met me, but I had to do
Hey, I'm
I like her already.
Are we bringing up red flag laws? Is that what we're going to be talking about?
First topic.
I used
Boom,
to be a
done.
They're like,
bartender,
we-
so I'm usually, I'm pretty much a really cheap psychologist, so I could help you out if you got some mental problems.
They're like, of course we found this bitch on
fucking.
fucking Craigslist. Of course, we're out the gate. She's like, what are your mental health flaws?
So I just got out of the smacko bin and was
I
wondering,
wish
can
I
I
would
hold
have had
a
a
gun?
lot better drugs in the last few years. It's like, I'm really
So if
quite
you've been in a
jealous.
padded room for like, let's say 3 to like 2 years,
Wait,
or
but
like
is that the
three
law?
months to 2 years, can I
flushed
get
my
a gun? Can I get a gun?
I'm off the meds. Check.
I feel like Adderall's okay though, because they're doing a lot of that. And
It just helps you shoot
doing that.
faster.
Yeah, it helps you reload and shoot faster.
Yes, and
I
you're prescribed to that, obviously.
Oh my
Not
god.
Yes.
in a while.
I gotta do it.
Not in a while. I just thought since the president in Silicon Valley was on it, that would be safe to bring that up right now.
So, as far as Joe, I know that you obviously already have your concealed carry license, right? You
I
already
may or
concealed
may
carry.
not have that.
Easy there, Rusty
So did you-
Shackelford.
Did you do it? Did you do it with Dave?
Do
Did
what?
you do it with him? No, that was the question. I don't know. I wanted you to.
Joe
spill the
was
beans
one of the
on
students
whatever
in my
you have
concealed
done
carry
with
class,
him.
yes.
I don't know if it's gun related or
All
not.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I took a class with Dave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Won't be too specific.
It may have or may have not been about concealed carry. I may have or may have not submitted a concealed carry application.
Just
So
saying.
is this
If any administrations are watching, or soon to be administrations,
Yeah, not so much. You don't have.
I have
you don't
no-
own any guns. You said the boat
I
accident.
don't even never even seen a gun, dude.
The boat accident. You said.
Yeah, the boating.
Yeah.
There was a boating incident. They all went down.
They all went to the bottom of the
I'm
sea.
so sorry about
And it
that.
was in like an undisclosed location. I don't even remember where we were at when you.
Yeah, I blacked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, from all the
I
fervor.
think it's where they filmed that movie Captain Phillips, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or the perfect
Justin
storm.
said, "I am the captain now." No, don't eat that, Django.
Darn pirates stole all my
So
guns.
Dave, we want to do a little show and tell here with you.
My
All right.
favorite. My
I
Show and
basically,
tell.
I basically told Dave just like bring a couple of your favorites. I mean, I think he only owns 1 or 2 guns anyway, so so he probably just brought his only 2.
But he boats with me, for the record.
Let's see what you got. What did you bring out?
Let's
for us
start
tonight?
with what the media would consider the scariest gun of all
Yeah,
time.
scariest
Yes.
first.
That
Scary.
The
start
assault.
with
It's
this
not
one.
actually an assault.
Yes.
So this
it's
would
an
be
AR.
our AR-15,
Right.
Standard, run-of-the-mill AR-15.
Yes.
Rifle here. It shoots. It's a 223. It's a AR-15. It's a wild barrel. It's chambered for wild. So I could shoot either a 223 or a 5.56.
Okay,
so
I just
military
learned
round.
about that recently. My brother Brandon has the same kind of situation. I didn't realize that you could do that with any gun. I didn't know you could shoot 2 different calibers out of the same gun.
For
Is it
some
calibers
guns.
or length?
Calibers.
For only some round. Yeah.
It's kind of
only
like if
some
you buy a
calibers.
357 Magnum
Yeah.
revolver, you can shoot 38 specials out
Gotcha.
of it.
Right.
So yeah, some guns
Depends
you
on
can
the
shoot different
diameter
calibers
and
out
the
of it.
different
Correct.
thing.
Okay.
So Jade,
you wanna show it to the
he's
camera
talking
here?
about when he says 223. Jade, he's talking about the diameter of the bullet.
So it's
of the
point.
round.
It's a
Not the
22
bullet, actually,
caliber. So
the-
it's .223 inches thick.
And you can even
So that's
talk
the
to me 'cause
diameter
I
of
don't
the
really
bullet.
know how they get their names either, so that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, a 223 round is .223 inches
In diameter.
In diameter.
Okay.
But so when wait, is this a bad question?
No,
actually?
no
If that
question.
were to
They're all good
enter
questions.
an animal or person or tree.
What would that do?
What would that do?
It depends.
Good question.
Well, it depends what type of bullet you're shooting out of
Yeah.
it. If you're shooting a full metal jacket bullet out of it, it'd pass right through, and it wouldn't give you what people would consider stopping power, or what I'd call
Like takedown.
immediate incapacitation.
Right.
So it passed right through. Now, if I was shooting a hunting type round, like a ballistic round, or some kind of expansion round, like a hollow point, it would terminate the animal, and then if it did exit the animal, it wouldn't have enough terminal velocity to hurt anything after it went through the animal.
Wow.
So it depends what kind of bullet you're using out of it.
That's crazy. So I want to say as like a layman, right? Like I would assume that like the way when you as a layman, and I already know the whole thing about there's a difference between it's not assault rifle. That's bullshit.
Yeah, Armalite
It's an,
rifle.
okay,
Armalite,
so but I would think as a layman, I'm thinking from that point of view that it's a particular type of gun, but it's not just the gun. It's also the type of bullet that you use.
It's the type of bullet, and it's the person using the fire. So this is just a
I'll
tool.
never- yeah, 100%.
Exactly. And I saw the beautiful bonfire banter I actually got here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, if I was a deranged person,
Yes.
I
Right.
could take this axe and do a lot of damage.
Right.
Yes.
Some would
Yeah.
say a lot more damage than this could right here, because
Right.
this will empty out This is the magazine that never
Keeps on
ends.
swinging.
Unlimited.
And like honestly, I always think about, especially right now, when
that was a good thing.
think about the Dark Knight, the Joker, when he's like talking about like savoring as if it was like a steak dinner.
Good gosh.
Yeah.
You know, ripping somebody apart. Like
Oh,
I would
gosh.
much rather. I'd rather get shot.
I think it's a
Just
good
get
point.
it, get
When
it done
somebody
quickly.
Get it over
wants
with.
to,
Get it over
yeah,
with.
somebody
Get it
wants
over
to fuck you up. You don't want to be savored. I don't want to be locked in 12 dimensions.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Just
in your
slicing little
mind
pieces
and
off.
Yeah, that's
Your
Yeah.
family's minds, and I don't want to
Giving you blood transfusions, keeping you awake.
Yeah.
So let's
They
talk
pop
about.
oxygen
So let's
in the
talk
room
about
like
this
Didn't
one
think about this at all.
just a little bit. So we have
Take a little bit off the calf.
So we have our AR-15, and
Meaty.
one of the reasons I love my AR-15 is because it's like an adult. It's like a toy that you can modify. It's like adult Lego.
I think it's like a Lego. I was just
It's
gonna
like
say
a
Lego set. Yeah.
You can just modify. You can make what you want out of it.
What I
sounds like
noticed
so
off
much
of,
fun to me right now. My
It's
It's
a
amazing.
lot of fun.
Okay.
You can put
Oh,
foregrips
sorry.
on it. You
I
can
was-
put different kinds
okay.
of optics.
There's so
on
many
it.
The one thing I want to
accessories
say
for an
about
AR.
his gun though is I've seen a lot of ARs, and I don't know what that's made out of. The barrel there.
Oh, it's stainless.
I was
It
gonna
looks
say
cool, right?
that looks dope.
Stainless
See?
steel.
Yeah, it looks sweet. I
It's,
mean,
you know, you just make it
it
your
looks
own.
a little meaner with like what are those holes at the end of the barrel?
So
What does
that
do?
so that's a muzzle brake. So when
Okay.
I shoot this, the gases will come out the top. So the flames of gases will come out the top.
What does
so
that
it'll keep
do?
the barrel down level. So each
Gotcha.
additional shot I can stay
Less
on target
muzzle
a
rise.
little easier.
Makes sense.
So that's why the holes are only pointed up. They're not pointed down.
gotcha. So, it allows
when
it to shoot out.
So when I shoot and the barrel goes up a little bit, it won't go up as much as if I
Because
didn't have
gas
that.
expulsion is happening in the opposite direction.
makes
Correct.
sense. Okay. See how much you learn when you come on this stuff.
Yeah, and
You didn't think
afterwards.
you'd get such an education.
No, I didn't, because I knew like I was actually gonna plan to like research
No, I didn't
more
want you
guns,
to, honestly.
and I had a feeling like, no,
Yeah.
bitch, don't go in there with all this
No.
blah 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 blah. You
Yeah.
know, and so, but
We
when I
want you
look
to
at
be
that
Jade
thing,
Rockwell. We want you to just sit
you
down
don't
and ask some
want
questions.
that, you know. But honestly, and then afterwards, can I play the flute? Like, can I?
Oh, we'll see if you can get a tune out of this bad boy.
You're like, I
See if we
just
can
did it out.
I mean, and you know what? I know it's a serious tool, and it should never be just played with
Yes.
like that. But if you
No,
want to
it
think
was
about that, it
important.
is fun. I have to say it is fun.
Okay.
I mean, just little things like that can snap this
That's sweet.
a magnifier over. It's got a ambidextrous charging handle.
Okay.
It's got a
That helps our
extended mag
left-handed
release.
friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
you can
it's
charge
just
it from
fun.
both sides.
And exactly like you said, maybe a left-handed person they want to change everything, make it ambidextrous. You can do whatever you want to this firearm. But again, it's for target practice, it's for hunting, and it's just for plinking.
So, Dave, this is one thing I wanted to get out while we were sitting around the fire, especially seeing people like, there's some people that see guns and they're just scared. I was actually a little worried that Jade was going to show up and be like, I didn't know you had live firearms. I'm worried. I don't want to sit on a panel with live firearms, whatever. So, first off, tell us a little bit about the yellow thing that's sticking in there and why that makes the gun safe.
So this has been empty chamber indicator, and there's a couple names, chamber flag, whatever you want to call it. So this lets you know that a magazine is out, and a magazine is what would hold the ammunition before it gets loaded into the chamber. So with the
It cannot fire basically with that in it.
so it cannot fire. There's no way that any ammunition can get loaded into the chamber or fired at all. So no
Okay.
magazine, no source of ammunition.
When did that flag come? Like, when did that happen with guns? Because my grandfather's
that
guns
I
did
I
not
don't know.
have.
I mean, I'm sure people have been doing something maybe similar to that for years.
Yeah.
I mean, but in our throwaway culture, we probably just been manufacturing stuff. I mean, before maybe someone would put a twig in there, or,
Maybe, yeah. That
or
makes sense.
whatever
All you
they
really
have.
need is like
Yeah.
a sturdy
What if we used
stick.
at the range before? Sometimes if you're lacking a chamber flag, you could like stick something.
I mean, sure, you do a
pen
zip
or-
tie in there really easily.
I mean, anything.
Right?
And
There's
they're
some
not
other stuff.
required.
Need a zip
You
tie
don't
too.
have to do something like this. And if you're at some ranges, it's not required.
Yeah.
I'm what's called a range safety officer. So an RSO. So if I was at a range and you were shooting and I came past and I saw this pointed down range and laying flat, I could know instantly that your firearm is safe and not loaded. So
Yeah.
it kind of makes me feel more comfortable, and it gives a little tip of the hat to, I think I know what you know what you're doing.
You know what you're doing,
I
yeah.
don't have to watch you as closely.
much.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
Yeah, see, I think that's
Empty chamber
amazing.
indicators are
Like,
great.
you look at all the safety. Like I said, like growing up, and I didn't necessarily grow up in a household with guns. It was more like my grandfather, right? You know, like
Yeah.
in rifles in the case, and everybody knew not to touch that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't remember there being so much safety. And when you look at everything that's happening now, and I don't know, but it seems like safety has come such a long way.
I think that I don't know that I'm not going to speak for the NRA or anything like that. I think that gun owners in general realize the stigma behind it, and like kids get killed with guns. You know what I did the first time I got a gun? I showed my daughter. I showed her how it gets loaded. I told her that this is nothing you touch without daddy.
Yeah.
That this can kill people if you point it at them. And I told her straight up at 5 years old. Because at the end of the day, that's what you need to teach gun safety early and often. You need to just tell them the rules about it. And if you hide it and you're like, oh, I don't want to tell my kid I got a gun in there, and they find a gun, they don't know it's sitting there, that's when a kid's going to play with it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I got 3 kids at home.
You're curious now.
Kids are curious.
You need to tell them what the dangers, and what's the first thing. You got this yellow thing in there, and I still saw what he was doing. He's still never pointing it at anyone.
Yeah.
The first rule of gun safety is always pointing in a safe direction. Whenever you pick up any firearm, mostly when I ask people, what's the first thing you do when you pick up a firearm? You know what they tell me?
Check the chamber is what I know.
Check
is
to
the
see if they
answer,
loaded.
Yeah.
But subconsciously, the first thing you did was point it in a safe direction.
Yeah.
So if I were to pick this thing up, and this
He's
flag
pointing
was
it
out,
in the sky, right?
and this flag was out, the first thing I would do would point in a safe direction and then check to see if it's loaded.
Yes.
But also, the second rule of firearm safety is to keep my finger off the trigger until I'm ready to shoot it.
Yes.
And the third one,
That's a big broken one, though, that a lot of people, as soon as they get a gun in their hand, they don't know what they're doing. They
Oh,
go to put their finger
dude,
on the trigger. It's like,
people get
whoa.
ripped
Don't
on
hand it to
Facebook
me.
for that.
Yeah,
Firearms-
you always
No,
keep
well,
your
firearms are
trigger
made to do
finger
that.
straight. You don't curl it. You're straight along the thing, and that's one of the first safety rules is you don't put your finger on the trigger unless you're ready to fire the gun.
Yeah.
well, it's just natural. Guns are designed to be comfortable and ergonomic to put your finger on that trigger. So when you see it, boom, you put your hand on it. And yeah, you gotta learn that to not put your finger on there. So you do what's called indexing. So yeah, the first rule is don't put your finger. Or first rule, always safe direction. Second rule, don't put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Third rule, keep the gun unloaded until you're ready to use it. So this gun is not ready to use, so I'll keep this one up.
Yes, that's a good thing. A good option here.
We're swapping out
Another one.
firearms.
And then Jordan, Chef Jordan, give us a little sign off here. I want you to jump in the mic. Thank you so much for coming back out tonight. And I don't know if you have any idea what we're doing next week, but I know that we have a meat supplier that wants to start giving us some stuff. So we won't say it yet because it hasn't come through. But
There you go.
My boss is off screen saying right now he's got a bunch of geese that are just waiting to get cooked.
Well, see you guys
So
next week.
we might have Jordan do something with some geese maybe, but.
Yeah, I really don't know. I didn't know what I was doing tonight until about an hour ago. So.
Perfect. The other thing I'd like to say, though, is Chef Jordan has been posting some stuff on Facebook. He's got a bunch of keto options. He's been trying to eat a little healthier. If anyone's looking to get a couple of, pre-made meals that you want to heat up or anything like that, anything you see in our site is for sale.
Well, hello,
So,
Jordan.
or on the show, yeah.
Yeah,
Hello,
sure,
Jordan.
Yeah. Anything
Well, hello,
you see is for sale.
too. Fully prepped meals.
Yeah, the
Everything's
guns are
for
not for
sale.
sale. The food is for
Hey,
sale.
speak for yourself. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Except for
Guns
Joe's
might be-
What price are
pistachio.
we talking?
Guns might be.
Hey, cash is king, buddy. With the proper weight
All
and
right.
background check.
Thank you, Chef Jordan. We really appreciate it. We'll see you here next week.
How were the kebabs?
They were fantastic.
Dynamite.
I think
Dynamite
really
class.
good.
Yeah. Joe, how did you feel about them? I know I didn't get to you about the kebabs.
Oh,
How'd you feel
yeah.
about the kebabs.
Definitely good.
That béarnaise I've had.
Oh,
He
yeah.
actually was
So
mentioning
good.
The
that a little bit.
Melanese, yeah.
Yeah.
The Melanese.
I heard you say that, and then when I was looking at it, I was like, "Oh my god, I forgot he said that." Look at that little bonus
She was
right
getting
there.
real excited.
I heard
about
all the butter. Listen, I loved Paula Deen. Okay, so
This pairs
grew up
well
with
with like
butter.
pistachios. though.
I know.
Careful.
I'm very, very mixed, and my son is also Black, French, Puerto Rican. So I want to put that out there. So
Oh, see, so you
we're
can
like we can't be racist because I would hate myself
Yeah,
and my
yeah, yeah.
child.
Later, bro.
It doesn't make any sense.
Absolutely.
It's all love.
It's all love. And real quick, Jade, I'd like to catch this before maybe I forget, but you do some, you said massage therapy?
Therapist, yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm a clinical deep tissue massage therapist. I'm actually pretty soon going to be doing hot stone with clinical trigger points. So I'm going to have to open up a space to do that with some other things. But I mostly do house calls. I do have a few Bears players. I'm really proud of that.
No way.
Like
I don't know
my-
if you could say
Can't
who
say.
they are, but that's fine.
You know what's funny? I know
And
some
if you want to
therapists-
get any of your clients, those ones, out here, we would love to have them.
They're like, I'm sure if I had, I'll say this, I don't have any of the like superstar guys.
Okay.
And honestly, I said that I didn't want them because I have a big enough ego as it is. That's too much ego in one room.
You got some high-end clients. That's a cool thing to tout.
I worked really hard for it, though. That didn't happen overnight.
You're not going to get a guy like that overnight. You got to build something. I mean, someone had to tell him that you were legit.
Yeah. 16 years I've been doing it.
So you started when you were like 4 years old?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. See, I'm the host. I'm supposed to make you guys.
Is that the blushing your cheeks, or is it just warm out here? The whiskey. Well, it's the whiskey for me. No, I'm grateful, especially during this weird time. There's like a weird little bit of guilt, I think, because I'm not doing as well as I was doing before this whole fucking thing. But it's like, fuck, man, looking at what's happening to Chicago and all the small businesses going under.
You're still feeling pretty happy?
Yeah, I'm happy, but I also really wish that I got like a super. It's the mom thing in me. I don't know. It's like I just want everybody to be doing okay right now. You know? I'm really lucky, but. I wish that was everybody.
Yeah, right.
You know,
I feel the same way. I don't like to tell my some of my customers that our business actually did pretty well. We sell exterior remodeling, so people that are
because people were home. They were like, "Fuck, we need to get this done."
They're home first, and second off,
bullshit.
They don't want people doing their kitchen because you got to have a crew of guys working inside your house.
Yeah.
So the exterior remodeling kind of was doing okay. Shout out to Sam, who's going to be jumping on in a second. Great American Exteriors has been a sponsor since day one, mainly just because he pays me and I, help the show go. So.
Everybody's supporting each other. Yeah, that's good.
And Sam jumps out here. He's a great sport. Owner of my company, my boss, willing to jump out here and help us out. It's fantastic. Elmhurst companies jumping in. We got a couple of them right now, so we're very happy and very blessed to have everything that we got right now going for Bonfire Banter. But Dave, as far as what you're talking about, I know you showed this AR off. They
switched it out
anymore. Before you talk about this one, what's your newest thing you bought that you like? If you
my newest. It's got it sitting right here.
Is it?
Look at that.
Sweet. I love it. Perfect. I didn't actually
we can't get that SIG sponsorship going on here.
Boom.
I'd love to take a SIG sponsorship.
I saw that in video games. SIG, is that like a popular
I saw that in video games.
I know.
Yeah, hey.
You might see a lot of these things in video games.
That's how a lot of people know their guns. I feel like my little brother, Chef Jordan, the reason he knows guns so well is because he plays gun games. I mean,
seriously.
they're
so.
See, now I don't feel like such a woman right now.
No, most gun
like
games.
Those women and
most
children.
gun games, unless it's Fortnite nowadays, like they try to be pretty accurate.
Yeah.
With their depiction, so
yeah, people
know like, oh, that's a Vortec blah 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 site. I'm like, geez, that's crazy.
Right, and they just know it because they're playing the game, buying the fake ones on.
They're not. Yeah.
That's great for firearm carriers. I'm telling you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so my newest purchase right now, actually just picked this up yesterday. I ordered it. Well, I ordered it straight from SIG.
So the wife knows about this purchase.
Oh, absolutely. She knows about all my
must be cutting this segment.
Maybe.
So no, I picked this directly up from SIG because SIG does work with NRA instructors to do an NRA instructor discount program.
Ooh.
So I got this through the NRA and SIG discount program for being an instructor. So I got a great deal on this beautiful firearm. It does have another one of those flags. It's a little bit smaller, but you can still see it visually in there with an empty magazine.
They're always very bright colors usually.
Yeah. So this is a SIG RXP full size. So it's a 9mm, and it came with the SIG Romeo 1 Pro optic on it. So it's got the red dot sight on it.
Ooh,
everything's going to red dot.
Wow.
It has the co-witness sights, so it's suppressor height sights, so I could use my iron sights as backup in case something happens to my optic.
Yeah.
And it's great because this red dot actually goes on anytime I shake the gun or any movement. The red dot actually comes on to my preset
motion activated
brightness level. So it's so nice.
Hey,
wait, can I? Yeah. Is it weird that was like a little bit of a turn on when you?
Oh no, I'm half master.
No, that's actually.
When he was like, oh yeah.
That's actually a guaranteed. That's a guaranteed reaction.
Why do you think so many guys like it?
I mean, I didn't even bring up the barrel length yet.
It's about to get bad.
Now we're talking.
I mean, it's ribbed on the front and the back.
For whose pleasure?
Anyone?
I'm really revealing way too much of myself right now for the first time.
If you can keep this if you can keep this in a safe direction, actually, if you wouldn't mind.
Have you ever held a gun?
Ever?
No, never.
Really?
You never held a gun?
Let's do this for the first time.
I think I did when I was like a little kid, which is weird.
Just keep it pointed away.
Just keep it pointed up in the straight direction.
Don't think about Reno 911. Don't think about Reno 911.
And no desk
No
pumps.
finger. Watch the trigger.
Piping hot
Touch the
Arby's.
trigger.
You
Don't
ju-
touch
we saw
hot
it.
Arby's.
He's holding it like it's on
That's
fire,
the-
dude.
What
That's
does she
the
do
most-
with her hands?
Is the
All right.
gun on fire?
Right.
All right, pass it back.
How I feel right
That's
now.
the most
It's right.
awkward
Okay.
grip I've ever seen.
I like it too
Okay.
much.
Holds it like a piece of toast.
So,
I
that-
need like hands.
I'm making fun.
You know what you
We understand. We understand.
You know what
She
you
needs
need?
a small amount of training.
You need a class
yeah.
with FAST,
Like,
firearm
yes.
safety training, to learn how to do a proper wrap,
Okay.
proper grip. All right, so you don't look so awkward with the grip on it. So we can get you a proper grip going, or we'll start you with a proper two-handed grip before we move on to a one-hand grip. But yeah,
Don't pass her any more guns. This is genuine. This is literally done. I have to jump off screen because it has elicited a reaction in me that makes me not be able to sit here for about 30 seconds. You guys keep talking. And Joe, if you guys run out of things to talk about
You watch the court.
okay.
Flag.
Like I said, it's my newest firearm. I actually bought this because I'm going to start doing more of a three-gun type competition or IDPA style shooting. So it's a little bit faster for faster target acquisition. It's a little easier to shoot, and it's a hell of a lot of fun.
Are there shooting ranges where you can like run with these things?
That's what he's
Yes,
talking about, like
actually,
a three-gun.
yeah. So instead of just when you go to most ranges, you stand there, you put your firearm down on the table, your target's out in front of you, and you just shoot. That's great. It's good to get
Oh,
familiarized
it's all
with your
good.
firearms. It's good to test things out. But the level I'm at, I want to start moving more. It's very difficult to move with the firearm
That
and
makes
shoot
so
it
much more
accurately.
sense. Right? Because like when you think about like if something goes down, the real reason why you would have this kind of a thing, it doesn't make any sense that like the whole argument about if you have a gun and it's stored away in something in the middle of the night, the night stalker comes in.
Night Stalker. So Richard Ramirez breaks into your house.
She was watching the Night Stalkers.
before I came.
Yeah, it's number 1 on Netflix right now.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
got Richard Ramirez coming to the house.
I dated a guy that looked like him. That really fucked with me the whole time. I was like,
Okay.
What?
I would look for serial killer. Was that him? No, it was.
So this would be ideal for
I don't
something like
fucking
that.
trust her with the gun because I think she's gonna go after serial killers, bro.
Oh my God,
Dexter?
Yes.
You're gonna Dexter.
Is this
them.
vigilante
Yes.
justice?
for people.
Is this vigilante justice we're talking about?
If she's
They're gonna be
female,
like this motherfucker.
if she's female Dexter, I think we root her on. I mean,
Yeah.
not publicly.
We just
but-
created a monster today.
No, trust me, it was created in 1984, the year I was born.
See?
Oh,
take blame.
oh, you dated yourself.
Oh, now you've done dated. Now
It's
the 22-year-old thing goes right out the window.
No, I never said that. I'm gonna out myself before some woman competes with me somewhere in the world, and it's like I know that bitch is 36.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, whatever.
You're way older than us too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So old.
I know. I love it.
They're born in 85.
85,
I'm
yeah.
88.
86.
Pretty close.
Oh, you're 86. That's right. I'm 85.
86.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey. Yeah, take it easy, oldie
Easy,
hon.
old
Fucking whatever.
Okay, boomer.
Okay, yeah, boomer.
Exactly.
Fucking 85
So-
boomer.
But if you did come to take a class, we can get rid of all those, the way you hold it, the grip and everything like that, and actually start you off with what's called a 22 long rifle. So a smaller frame firearm, easier to shoot, less recoil, and we'll get you started there and move you up to something like that. Just
Over
in case
time.
that the Night Stalker comes through that window, you're ready to go.
The
Fuck
22 rifle he's talking about. the
He's gonna
reason
be like,
why-
"Fuck! I went to the wrong house.
you ever
I've been
shot-
prepared."
He's
No,
in there. He's got a
shot a BB
statue. He's
gun
ready to hit you over the head.
No.
Okay, because a BB gun is about the same amount of recoil as a 22 rifle does. It's very, very low. So, like, you handling a 22 rifle, you pull a trigger.
22
it's
long
like,
rifle.
Pew, pew,
the
and it's-
caliber.
22 LR, yeah.
Okay.
22
yeah.
LR.
You guys know more than I. But what I'm saying, though, is for
Yeah.
even if you have
We
a
get what
22 handgun, which my grandfather does.
But would it be
Like-
a 22 long rifle is the caliber? That's what we're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was saying, as far as a gun, if you're starting out, a 22.
He's just giving you
Correct.
shit.
Yes.
That's
is
the
a
way to
good
start.
Starting.
It's like if somebody
Amazing
said
place to
clip,
And it's still over my
and
head.
then we're talking about stripper clip.
And
I'd
it's still-
fucking yell at him.
It's still over my head.
I don't even care.
Oh, by the way,
Making fun
I
of me
wanted to
for it, so-
circle back to when. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I want to circle back to when Dave was talking about like not pointing a gun at somebody.
Yeah.
Even like people I considered well versed in firearms make the mistake of flagging people from time to time on accident. I always point it out.
Yeah. Honestly,
I don't care about their feelings.
I was raised to not even point my finger at people. Like I had mentors who they were like,
care
it's
about
a
feeling
weird
people,
energetic
but I
thing.
don't care
Don't do
about
that. It's like
people's
an
feelings.
alpha thing.
Exactly. Well, how many fingers you got pointing back at you?
Yeah.
Exactly. You don't only point them. You got to give them the slice. You got to slice them. You have 4 fingers right at them.
A kind reminder works as
This
well.
is gonna get bad.
A tap on the shoulder and a
If
nice
somebody
reminder.
flags a rifle or shotgun into my face like a long barrel gun, I'm gonna knock it away from my face.
Yeah, I think it triggers
natural
triggers
reaction.
some part of the brain where you're like, even if you don't consciously think
Depends.
about it, like there's some part of you like this motherfucker.
Well,
what?
yeah.
You don't even know you're
Well,
thinking
the
that way, but you're
other-
like,
So I bought Sammy, my significant other, a gun for Christmas because she works at a local establishment that sells the booze. So I was
hooch.
worried about her leaving at night. She goes home and
Yeah.
it's like she's leaving the bar sometimes alone, but never alone. Actually, now I'm saying it on camera. Never she leaves alone.
Never alone.
Anyway,
Alone.
so I wanted
438 Spring Road, 2 a.m.
Whoa. You're good. Anyways,
that was my
so
job
I got
to
her.
out myself.
I got her loaded up. I got her stun gun and I got her concealed carry gun. Now, the main reason for that is again just protection, and even when she's talking about it, it's like she doesn't ever think about actually firing it. She doesn't want it for that reason.
Right.
It's just more so when you have a gun like that, you're letting other people know that you can.
Right.
You
Well,
know?
it's a peace of mind. It's also like there's something about I was born and raised in Chicago, and like in the 80s, like I grew up running around like rougher neighborhoods. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was raised on vibes. I was raised by like black people, white people, southern people, like old school people that like if you did dumb shit on the road, they rolled down the window and said some shit to you.
Told you
Now they
about
don't do that. I do that, and everybody looks at me funny, but that's fine. I will carry that forward. But like, okay, so there's a restaurant in Rogers Park. We just had like a couple of really big shootings by us, and there's
You
a
still
place.
living on Rogers Park?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and again, vibes. That might not sound so good right now, but
What is that? Explain what you're talking about. I
So
have no idea
when
what
you
you're
pay
talking about.
attention to the feeling you
Oh, just your feelings. Oh,
And-
Yeah, you
I
listen to
would
the sound,
think
you listen to the street. Yeah, I've watched Arthur.
That's not honestly, I would think that people who are, but for real though, like people who
no, yeah, I know.
seriously shoot, like especially males, like males really like fuck all that. Males, when it comes to their women around or their wives or their kids around, men suddenly become intuitive because they're paying attention to everything that's going on around them because they're not going to let shit go down on their watch.
Hey, Dave, when you go to a restaurant, do you sit with your back to the door?
No, absolutely not.
No, I don't
I
either.
can see all the
I
entrances,
can. It's
exits, the
automatic.
kitchen, everything.
And when you go through concealed carry training, like with Dave and Fast, he starts to explain some of those little things that as a concealed carry permit holder you might not think of until you have that weapon. You're like, oh shit, what if something does happen? Where do I want to be in this room right now?
It's a little bit of how not
100%.
to be a victim type.
Yeah, exactly.
100%. And I think like I've raised my son to think like that anyways. Growing up running around kind of being an orphan in the city as it is.
Yeah.
But so there's a restaurant in Chicago. This conversation is reminding me this happened in the summertime right after things started to open back up. It's the Fireside. And there was a woman there, mother, like I think she's got 2 kids. She left at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. These guys showed up to jump her. She even like said, "Here, take all my stuff." She's got kids. I did the same, and I'm an asshole, but I would have did the same thing. I want to go home.
If I carry a gun, I'd still do the same thing.
So
Take my wallet. I don't give a fuck.
She's like, "Take all my stuff." They still shot her, and there was a bunch of bars. There's a bunch, because bartenders they network. So there's a bunch of bars in Chicago that all got together. Sorry.
No, I'll put it away.
So there's a bunch of bars that got together and they all like even during the pandemic when like we're probably going to go to a shutdown, all put their money together and like gave her because she was in the hospital. She wasn't even able to work. But I think of shit like that. When you think about what's happening right now, and especially I heard something about, I hope it's okay that I say anything about politics right now with
Whatever you want to say.
They
Go
said
for
like
it.
I didn't look into it, but the whole thing like Biden is like I'm going after the Second Amendment. I don't know if that's true or not. I didn't fact check it, but that is fucking crazy because I think that if we had a civilization of people that they were trained in school to think. They were trained in school to be disciplined. They were raised by their families, and they knew how to use firearms. You're going to have less of this. Like, that's only fucking common sense.
Talk to this guy or this guy, they're going to tell you the exact same thing.
And not to mention, like you said, the waitress, she said, "Oh, here, take my stuff,"
right?
And and she bowed down to them. And sometimes when you give in, they take more advantage.
Yes,
criminals take advantage, and they see how far they can take it.
Right.
And once they say they can take everything from you, they're going to keep going with it.
Yes,
they're going to
100%.
say, "What else can I do? What else can I do?"
I mean, I'm seeing that, you see that in
Chicago.
Chicago.
Put up a fight, sometimes they back down.
You see that in Chicago when you look at Seattle, when you look at what the fuck is going on with Seattle. And I mean, don't get me wrong. When I was a teenager, I was all fuck the police, because we wanted to walk around smoking, and now they're going to do it.
We all listened to it.
But
we
it's
all listened to it and said,
when we wanted
years old saying, "Oh, they pulled me over for speeding. Fuck the police."
When you want to do crimes, it's weird. You don't like the police.
Yeah. Always get in the way of my petty crimes and shit.
100%.
Not to say they're not too hard on petty crime, but
No, I think there's a lot of shit that needs to be called out, right? But there's a difference between, there's discernment. Discernment is like a word that people don't seem to have any awareness of. And if you have people who are actually learning from someone like you, learning from leaders that are actually saying, here's how we take care of one another, here's how you take care of your family, this is how you protect things, you're going to have less of this shit. But to say, hey, we're going to just take this problem away when we know, like, what is it? I don't know. It's not Belize. What, Rio? Like, you look at certain countries where it
took away guns.
And what happened? They're stabbing people, throwing acid at people. I'd rather die of a gunshot than acid.
And the other thing about that is, too, is once you start to make things illegal, then the black market starts to thrive.
Right.
I mean, you're saying that, like, okay, you know what happens if you make guns illegal is the legal gun owners then don't get guns. The guys that were never getting them legally before, guess how they're going to continue to get them?
Right.
The same channels they used to, which then puts them at an advantage versus all of us who are legally buying guns just to protect ourselves.
Right.
So that's kind of where at least that's where I get a little passionate about.
So, let's say something about.
That's the only thing I'm passionate. I don't know. I love learning from you, and I'm way behind considering how I feel about things. But like, it's common sense. Like, I didn't grow up. I love Southerners. I love everybody. Honestly, I love everybody. Just don't fuck with me. I love you.
Yeah, right.
I don't care about any of the bullshit, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. Why is it that you just take people's rights to defend themselves? I don't like Bill Maher. I don't like the bullshit he says about it. I'd rather listen to people who are actually educated on things.
Yeah.
Than someone who's just got a lot of opinions.
Well, and the other thing is about any TV program like that is their job is to get viewers. So I feel like a lot of those guys say controversial shit just to push the envelope.
For sure, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's how you get views.
Got to be edgy.
Angry people, they turn on the channel, man.
Hell yeah.
If it's all sunshines and rainbows, nobody's turning that on. Why do you think CBS is going out of business?
Yeah, why do you think Stephen A. Smith has been killing it on ESPN for years?
Yeah,
because he says crazy shit and he says it like an asshole.
Yeah,
exactly, man. Conor McGregor, one of the number one paid fighters in the world. Why? Because he talks trash.
Shit talker, yeah.
So at this point in time, I want to take a little break. We got a couple other panelists jumping on here, and I want to be able to get Dave at some point where we can maybe start to get him a little more laxed here. So we're going to get the guns off the screen, maybe have a little more fun. But we'll be coming right back to you in just a second. Bonfire Banter. We'll see you in a moment.
Yeah, all those things.
Yep, yes.
All those things are right.
All of them. Here we are, Bonfire Banter, segment 2. We got Sam joining us on the panel here.
Hello, my name is Sam.
His name is Sam. Thank you so much, Sam, for joining us.
My pleasure.
Sam, I am.
I'd like to start this next segment off by doing Sam's little show and tell here. And Sam, tell us what you got here.
That's a shotgun.
Oh, it's a shotgun.
It's an automatic shotgun, and it's mostly used for bird hunting.
Okay.
Very, very, very lightweight. I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
But
it's meant for not killing your arm when you're walking around with it.
Yeah. A lot of guys think they need a 12 gauge to kill waterfowl, but that's not necessary.
Yeah.
You just got to shoot them good.
Yeah.
The big birds, you shoot them in the neck when they come in.
Okay.
And so I enjoy it.
What's special about the Benelli? What makes it better than any other gun?
Well, what's special about this shotgun is it's very lightweight.
Okay.
And I had a shoulder surgery, and it was dove season. And I couldn't really shoot my 12 gauge.
Gotcha.
So I bought the lightest gun I could find, which was this. I think it's a Benelli M2.
Yeah.
And I was in a sling, so I had to shoot with one hand the whole time.
Dude, no way.
I couldn't believe how great it was. And then I took it waterfowl hunting. I couldn't believe how many birds I knocked out.
What is
with it.
waterfowl hunting?
Ducks, geese.
Oh, so just any bird. Like
It's a bird
waterfowl?
gun. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was like you were like really close to Niagara Falls when you hunted or something like that. I didn't really know. I didn't know the terminology all that well.
So yeah, it's fantastic. It's lightweight, shoots fast.
I also think there's like
It's camo
on it. Is
beat
that,
up.
Is that like standard on that gun?
You can
Benelli?
order them with all different colors camo.
Okay, so you
keep
order
a
your
sling
sling.
on it just in case you got to hike. Got to go on a hike.
Yeah.
Got your sling,
So
lightweight.
when you go bird hunting, are you in a field? Are you in a boat? What do you?
all over the boat, field, laying down, standing up out of a blind.
I've heard you talk about the laying down thing. Explain that a little bit because I think it sounds so badass.
Yeah, we hide in almost like a coffin with doors on it, and it opens up and got to shoot. But it's tough to shoot laying down or laying down behind you, for example, if the birds go that way.
Yeah. So do you guys? I think you told me one time like there's times you're like the geese will be coming in, the ducks will be coming in, and you like there's got to be someone telling everyone like go, right?
Yeah, you got to wait.
Because you don't want everyone just like
say,
making their
take
own
'em.
decision.
Yeah, take them.
Okay, so is that usually you when you hunt?
Yeah.
You make the
Yep,
call?
Yeah, yes. Yep, yeah, sure.
And then when you take them,
the guide.
I mean, are you sitting up most of the time or not?
No,
Are you
you're laying
down?
down. You sit up a little to shoot them.
Okay.
Or you could lay down. Just depends on
How they're coming in and
sporty
stuff?
you want to be.
Yeah. Or how
But,
late or how drunk you are, maybe. Or
Well,
or not drunk. No one drinks.
We try not to get drunk. When we're hunting afterwards.
Afterwards.
Yeah, or right at the tail end, maybe.
At the tail.
But you want to eat the birds and
you fully
have
cook
some
these
drink.
birds up, right?
Oh, they're amazing. Yeah.
What's your favorite
and
way to
it's
cook
such a
up
great resource here.
Yeah,
the
absolutely. What's your-
Canadian geese are everywhere.
Oh,
And
yeah,
they're
for sure,
delicious,
man.
and they're fun to shoot. And they're fun to hunt.
What's your favorite way to eat one of these birds? What is like your favorite prep?
Oh, there's so many different ways.
What's your favorite though?
Oh, I like them in a crock pot. I like to just fry them and cut them with a fork. They're good.
Nice.
Yeah, real
Okay.
thin.
You put any other veggies or anything in there with the goose?
Not too many veggies. though.
Just going straight goose in the crock pot?
Yeah, goose.
Okay.
Right, maybe some wild
Soften
rice, some mushrooms.
Little rice, mushrooms.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
All right. I can dig that. So does any of that sound appetizing to you? Have you ever tried goose, Jade?
Oh God, I feel like maybe I did when I shot a gun when I was a little kid. Not sure.
Your grandpa
I know.
might have gave you some goose.
Maybe. I
He's
know
like, this is beef.
Here, try it.
Yeah,
I'm
you didn't
assuming,
accidentally
like-
Anywhere.
shoot a goose.
I
Did you?
I love crispy duck.
Supermarket in the
I
world
love
that sells
crispy
goose.
duck. Like what? Like how
Okay,
is
so you've
that?
tried some
Duck
duck?
is
Oh
amazing.
my God,
Yeah,
duck is so
amazing.
good. I know a few places in Chicago. If you need to know. Some good
Plug 'em.
crispy duck.
What do you like to
Oh
eat
my
your
God,
duck?
Sun Wah.
Yeah?
Sun Wah on Broadway.
They
It's
make
like
special?
little.
Bless you.
If you're ever
Oh,
driving
very
down
nice
Broadway, over by Argyle, so it's like little Chinatown, you'll see the duck hanging in the window. And
They're serious.
oh yes, they are.
that in the square?
And they have a secret menu, by the way. Like
Oh, Peking duck is amazing. A lot of times you got to pre-order it. It's
Isn't
it's
Sun
so
Wah.
good with the
Oh,
skin.
big around the holidays too,
Very
man.
popular.
Oh,
The thing
yeah.
with the ducks you shoot is a lot of people don't know this. There's over 100 species of ducks.
see you?
So there's teal, there's wood ducks, there's mallards.
What's your favorite duck?
I would
What are you
say
growing? What's your
Mallards
favorite
wood
are
duck
so
or a teal?
cute.
You ever
And
done a
then-
sandhill
and then the
crane?
mallard. I haven't tried. I heard they're the
Dude,
ribeye. of the
ribeye
sky.
of the sky, baby. I want to get some sandhill
ribeye
crane.
in the sky.
They're-
What's
they
the
don't allow
ribeye
you
in
to
the
hunt
sky?
Well, just think about what
many
they're
states.
saying.
No, it's very
The
limited.
ribeye in the
A lot of
sky.
them,
It really is because it's so
Maybe that's
fatty.
something to
It's like so fucking
It's
fatty.
a very
and delicious.
limited draw hunt. So yeah, if you get on one of those, you let me know, dude. I'll guide with you. I mean, I'll carry
I'm
your
not
gear.
sure what states you can shoot them in.
I mean, you guys might be the kind of guys like to link up. I mean, he takes a lot of people out to go
For
shoot.
the record,
Well, he showed me
guys
some
can take
pictures.
the carry
Bows,
stuff.
I would consider an honor to hunt with this man.
Dude,
Yeah.
you showed me
He's a,
some pictures.
you know,
I am very, dude. I'm
Firearm
impressed.
master.
No. I am no master. But I'm an enthusiast with some extraordinary knowledge. So yeah, I'd love to come with you anytime, man. You just let me know I'm there. Like I said, I'll carry your gear. I'll do whatever you want. You let me eat one of those ducks, man. I'm in.
We set
That's
up
all
hundreds,
deal. I'm
hundreds
in.
of
He just
decoys,
wants to
so there's
eat
a
a
lot of
duck.
labor
Do
involved.
you
Dude, I'm
think
in. I'll work.
that Cheney and Bush had the same kind of conversation that you're having right now?
right before. Yeah,
Dude,
they tried some.
I am not
think?
taking any hot lads.
I heard they tried some of Cheney's cheek after that. They shaved a little
Hey,
off.
you eat what you kill, okay?
Yeah. Catch and release.
He was very fatty.
Nose the tail, baby. Nose the tail.
You got to. the American Indians or the Native Americans, they taught us that. You use every part of the
They taught you that?
They taught me that personally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they
Yes,
really
yes.
respected the land and the animals.
Great grandfather.
Passed it
The
down.
American Indians were very special.
Didn't Cheney get shot?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait, who the fuck did he
So
shoot?
it wasn't
Quail.
Cheney's face getting shaved off. It was Cheney's buddy.
But I feel like
Where
this
are
is
the
a
Native
Catholic
Americans?
addition to
We got
this
all this
conversation.
racist crap going on. Where are the Native Americans?
I think
You
it's
know?
First
What
Nations
about
people now. I don't believe we can call them
Is
that
that
anymore.
what it is? First
yeah.
Nations people?
Well, I was trying to learn a lot about that actually, and I was at a Shoshone. I thought it was at a Shoshone like museum or something like that, but it turned out to be a shoe shine stand.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Boom.
You got to be
Well,
careful.
I've been telling Justin.
Shoe
maybe
shine,
he should go get
Shoshone.
his
I'm not
shine
great
box.
with reading.
No, we don't do that.
Let me
I
see
don't
your
know-
shoes, Joe.
I don't know how long you've been around.
us your
I don't do that anymore, though. I don't do
You
that.
don't
I don't shine shoes
Yeah,
anymore.
maybe you should go get your shine box.
Let it be known.
All right, who's on the production crew? Get this guy out of here. I don't do that anymore, man.
It's a little sticky.
No.
It's very dirty.
That's true.
Get
A lot
Never
of
mind.
rounds went through.
Never mind.
That was great
So-
timing, though.
I hear the crew back there. They're just having a ball.
Yeah, I think this
They're
is
bent
great.
over back there.
Yeah. I think my boss he has a lot of reasons to not shoot me, so
Well, that's always
I
good.
do okay for him. It's okay. I think he's safe. But Sam, as far as your favorite thing to hunt, what would that be? Or I'd even like to throw it out to any kind of wild game you like. I know you do a lot of fishing, a lot of hunting. What's like your favorite thing if you're going out to get some food for your family, or your favorite thing to catch? What is that? And you can go fishing if you'd like.
Oh,
but
I love the ducks.
the ducks. Is the ducks? Huh?
Yeah.
I feel like when you're a duck guy, you're a duck guy. Like there's guys who are like, oh, I shoot elk, I shoot deer, this. But when you have a duck guy, he's a duck guy. Like that's his primary.
Well, he also
like
has
objective.
some kind of. He used to
Right?
be,
I'm a duck guy.
I'm a duck-
See, he's a duck guy.
for sure.
and he's also was like well-renowned goose caller or like duck caller, right? I mean, you were.
Can you do it
pretty
vocally?
legit.
You can do calls. Can you give me a duck call right now?
Fine, that's all you need, man.
Well, that's a hen.
Oh, I think I just saw one come
a
over.
drake. Is,
Wait, what's...
Oh, see.
that's a drake.
Dude, that's what I'm
But a
talking
hen's
about.
He
Oh,
I
was-
yeah.
need to get a gadget to sound like
All right,
that.
we're going.
Yeah.
Oh, we're
That's
going.
these are crickets in here? What the hell is
Drake Mallard.
They're going to ascend.
Yeah.
Now, do you,
Descend
now do you
shortly.
eat diver
Watch
ducks?
out.
You don't eat divers, do you?
You know,
See?
they're fun to shoot. They're beautiful. We take
Yeah.
a lot of pictures. We get them mounted. But I think if you breast them or the legs, I mean, anything tastes good if you cook it right.
I've seen dogs turn down going to get divers, man. That's how bad
I've
heard
seen
they
dogs
taste.
actually dive because the tough thing about shooting a diver is it dives. So
Yeah.
if you wound it, it dives and it's hard to get.
So doesn't it
And
float
they'll
at some-
dive under the ice if it's wounded and it's
Oh.
alive, and the dog will chase it under the ice. Sometimes it can be
I've seen guys
dangerous.
jump out
Oh
of
my
boat
gosh,
trying to
that's-
get them.
especially in
scary.
the river. Yes, if
That
you
is
shoot a
kinda crazy.
diver, you sometimes got to shoot it.
They'll go low, man.
Six-
They'll go low fast.
So
Nine,
is that also
12
too,
times
you know
before
how,
you
like,
kill
with,
it.
With
Wow.
beef, or with beef, like they have to kill it really fast, like it can't see it
Because
coming,
it doesn't
right?
stress out.
Right. Is
Oh,
that,
that's an
can
like-
that be the same
adrenaline.
with?
They say that for a lot of animals. The adrenaline surge going through the muscle
They
test.
say-
Well, I
They-
wouldn't taste
they-
good at
they
all.
say
I'd be
that
ready to fight and I'd die and nothing would be
Most
worth
people
it.
wouldn't be able to tell.
If you let
Nothing
the
would be
rigor
worth it.
mortis set in, the meat, is better. Or, as opposed if it's real fresh and you freeze it. I don't know. That could
Do
be
you guys
argued.
ever have duck and you're like, fuck, this motherfucker saw it coming?
And he like ruined the meat because he pissed all over himself.
Back to
ducks have
Mario
adrenaline?
Duck Hunt.
I don't know.
No, I'm kidding.
Doesn't everything have adrenaline?
I don't know. I don't know if
Remember that
everything has
game?
an adrenal gland. I don't
Well,
know.
you clearly know if ducks have adrenaline.
Google this.
Do you think they do?
I really
Nothing's
like
in there.
ducks. Sometimes I feel bad shooting them, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. They're so cute and cuddly, and they're smart.
Yeah.
Birds are smart. They live a long time.
Yeah. And don't they pick a mate? Some of these ducks?
One of the things with ducks is the male ducks kind of gang rape the female,
It's true.
and they'll
Oh,
kill them
baby
ducks.
sometimes.
Yeah.
So when we shoot the ducks, we
Like dolphin.
almost always shoot the greenheads. We don't shoot the hens. If a hen comes into the decoys, we let her go.
Okay.
And it's good to do that because that hen's worth 20 ducks because it's going to have babies.
Yes.
And reproduce as
Similar
well
to
as
like a deer hunter not shooting a ton of doe. Right?
Well, you got to shoot the doe because you have to regulate the
I don't think
population.
there's a population issue
Yeah.
with
With
deer,
ducks.
but with ducks
Okay.
there is.
Okay.
And part of all the money that we pay for the licenses and
Yeah.
permits, a lot of that goes to protecting the resources that keep the ducks. So it's it's a whole circle.
I'll shoot a doe. I don't mind.
Yeah, well, I know you know a lot about conservation and stuff as well.
Oh, absolutely.
I know you're the first one to talk about it, but as far as like deer hunting and stuff like that, how does the conservation stuff work? Tell me a little bit about.
From all different aspects. I mean, if you see a deer on the road, chances are its life's been saved or been altered by a hunter. People ask me sometimes like, how do you hate an animal so much that you want to shoot it? And I tell them like, I love that animal more than you would ever love an animal. I love that animal so much. I've done so much research on that animal. I know more about deer than most conservationists know about animals. I learn it. I learn its traits. I know how to track it. I know everything about it, and I love that animal. When I take an animal's life, it means something to me.
Yeah.
So the way conservation works, like you said, when we buy a hunting license, that goes straight to the conservation.
Yeah.
When we buy any hunting gear, any firearms,
in Illinois, it all goes
any ammunition,
Blagojevich or whoever's stealing the money. But
He just got out of prison, I think.
Thank God. I love that guy.
Yeah.
I don't hate
Right now,
Blagojevich.
Pritzker's getting a little bit of cash in his pockets.
Trump let him go.
Asshole. Sorry.
Yeah,
But
there might be some information coming. Who knows? Let's not get off.
Damn, I miss Trump. If we're not
if you don't know about this, any sporting good purchase you make, a portion of that goes towards conservation.
And isn't
So
it
whether
true?
you buy skis, backpacks, firearms, ammunition, a little piece of that goes towards conservation.
Yeah.
And I know some people who hunt, and like when I was in my 20s, and I knew those guys who hunted, and of course I was like, that's terrible. I could never take out Bambi's mother. And they were like, you don't understand. Like, there's a lot of people who are dying on the roads. Like, the populations in like Wisconsin. That's where he lives, so I can't say for anybody else, but the populations are so high that they have to. But also, he was saying that when they did hunt, they would take a lot of the meat to shelters, or they would like to butcher. There was butchers
We've donated some of our goose
would
meat
give it to shelters.
Food pantry, it's called.
Some shelters don't take meat, but some places do, in some states they do. And but that meat can go a long way.
Yeah, I like the respect part, though.
Don't know that those conservation officers are federal agents, and they have more jurisdiction than any cop anywhere. They can go right in your house without a warrant.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, they're like, let's see what's in that freezer. Let's see what's in that. If you have deer in your say you recently went hunting, you didn't fill out your tag, you've got your cooler in the back of the pickup truck, no tag on that deer. They pop that cooler. They see that like, oh, guess what? We're taking your gun. We're taking your deer. We're taking your pickup truck.
Pickup truck?
What else you got
going
on
out
you?
into a forest preserve with a handgun in the neighborhood, and you're going to pop yourself a deer.
Yeah.
You get in big trouble for that, and they can come check.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
They'll
see,
walk
like,
right in your door and check your freezer.
Really?
They do not mind. They have all the
They
jurisdiction
can take
in the
your
world.
guns if you go down the DuPage River in the forest preserve and shoot ducks.
Wild
Can't
game
do
is
that.
Because
very
there was like a big
serious.
issue with that, with them like people shooting buck, like for the
For the horns only?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, horn hunters.
I heard
Poaching is taken very serious.
Yeah.
I like the respect
Federal
of that,
offense.
though. Like, I think that's one thing
absolutely.
that people should
Or
talk
shooting
about
over your
more is
limit.
the respect that goes into.
Most hunters have a lot of respect for the animal, and that's a common, like, maybe
Misconception.
misconception
Yeah.
Right.
of a vegan or someone. And you have to have so much respect for a vegetarian or a vegan or someone who really loves animals so much that they don't want to contribute to it by eating meat. I mean, God bless them. Every one of those animals have feelings, and they feel pain, and it's really sad to shoot them. But I was taught, my dad said, that's why God put the deer here. That's why God put the fish here. And that's why God put the animals here is for us to eat. And that's natural selection. But it's still sad. I hate to see anything suffer.
Yeah.
When we shoot the birds, we try to kill them clean and fast and least amount of pain for the bird. And then we make sure we eat it all. None of it. We never just shoot them. And
I think that's the best way to honor an animal. I mean, it's like you're not killing it for no reason and fucking throwing it around. It's like you honor it, you take it, you use every part of it that you can, and you say thank you for its life, and that's
Dude,
pretty
nose
much
to
all
tail,
you can do.
baby.
I
That's
gave out the
appreciation.
goose feathers for Halloween to the kids. If you want the candy or the feather, most of them were like, "Oh, give me the feather."
Oh, that's cool.
They got hundreds
Dude,
of goose
nose to
feathers.
tail. You appreciate the animal. I got deer tongue in my fridge right now.
Yeah.
I got deer heart. I got deer liver. I got deer ribs. Deer neck meat. You name it. And people beg me for this stuff all the time. So, you share it. It's a community type deal. It's
there's
actually
families that
illegal
take it.
to shoot a deer and just leave it lay.
Yeah.
If you don't take a certain
be.
amount of meat from
It
it,
should be.
it's illegal. It's
Yeah.
wanton waste.
I think it should be.
You know, so hunters get a bad rap, man. It's kind of crazy. And you know what? Everything there's a cost to everything. And when I hear someone, oh, well, I'm a vegetarian. Oh yeah. Oh, factory
I think every
vegetarian?
kid should learn how to shoot and
Agreed.
and learn how to kill their food and eat it, or catch their food and eat it.
Even just not even that far. I just first off, I don't want to take it as far as saying like it needs to be taught in schools, but I think gun safety is something that every kid should learn at a young age to know. This is what you do when you come across a firearm. It's like they taught us about drugs in the 3rd and 4th grade in DARE. They told you not to use it. You want to talk to a bunch of little kids about drugs? No, it's not ideal, but you're doing it to try to educate them so that they know when they come encounter with it how to react to that situation. And it's the same thing with guns.
The NRA does it. What's called an Eddie the Eagle course, and it teaches kids.
Is the NRA going out of business?
Let's talk about that in a second. I want to get to that.
Right.
Actually, we'll get to that in just a second.
When we're teaching children that are at an age that we don't feel comfortable letting them operate a firearm, we start them at a different path.
Yeah.
Which would be stop, don't touch, run away, and tell an adult.
Yes.
That's what we teach the kids who are just too young to pick it up, operate it, check and see.
Yes.
There's
put
so
in
many
safe direction.
fake guns out there, though. It's
Exactly.
like, how will they
so
know the
when you
difference?
start teaching kids that stuff, my kids, I have 3 young kids, and they knew from day one, boom, Danny does have firearms. I actually bought a book by Rob Pincus, one of the best instructors
Isn't that
in the
the
country.
rite of passage in your family?
My
though,
father owns a
that
firearm.
You have
It's a
to
great
shoot.
book. What's that?
The
It's a rite of
DeBose family rite of passage.
In the DeBose
I
family,
only know a
it
few
is
of you
rite of
guys. I
passage.
know 3 or 4 of you guys.
Absolutely.
And they're all good shooters.
I don't
Hunters,
think I
fishermen,
know any
outdoorsmen.
DuBoses who has not picked up a firearm.
You know, my father told me this. I don't know if it's 100% true, but he said at one time every American kid was entitled to 100 rounds of 22 ammo. Have you ever heard that?
I've never heard
You're
that.
entitled to it. The government
Dude,
will
I
send it
am
to your
missing my
house.
100 rounds.
So you might want to look into
Where
that.
do I collect that?
I might.
I've heard it from a few people, but yeah, at one time it was one of the things the United States government said every single, I think, male child is entitled to 100 rounds of 22 ammo. You can call the.
I like it.
Look it up. Somebody fact check me on that.
Yeah. Hey, Rob.
Young Jamie, can you look that up for me?
I don't know if it's male or female, but
you know what they say?
back then, who knows? Maybe it was just every young man was entitled to 100 rounds.
I think that's a cool little thing.
I think everyone should own a gun. You know what they say is a well-armed society is a polite society.
Absolutely.
So if everyone was armed, we'd probably be watching our P's and Q's more.
Yes.
Well, if there's a reason to think that you could,
What about
rather than getting
big
punched in the
tech?
face, you might get shot in the
Oh, my
face.
God.
You might be a little more polite.
So you think the election was rigged?
Let's go. Whoa,
That is big, dude. That is big.
Whoa, no.
Girl, right into the
Let's
fire.
jump into
That
NRA.
is- Woo!
I heard the NRA was
Are they
going
going on
bankrupt.
about-
Pump the brakes.
No, yeah. That's for a whole different segment. We're trying to keep
Our
this
next
one-
guest, Alex Jones,
We're
is
trying
ready
to.
for
No. It's a legitimate
Eddie Bravo?
question.
Why
It's a
ignore the
legitimate question.
topics at
I don't
hand?
want to. I don't
Oh,
want
that's
to
a
sit on
topic, that's for
anyone's
sure.
things. All I want to say is that's a different episode, and we're trying to keep this one posted to YouTube and not get pulled down. So, Dave,
that's right,
I want to
They'll
shoot.
silence your
Hashtag
They'll
Epstein didn't
silence
kill
you.
himself.
Things are being said. Dave, I would like to talk to you really quick about what Sam was saying, though. NRA going bankrupt. What does that mean? That's the first I actually heard about it tonight. Rob, our director, kind of let me know.
Now, I'm no main representative for the NRA.
No, I just want to know what you know about it.
But as far as personal opinion, the NRA, as of, I believe, a day or two ago, did file for bankruptcy in the state of New York. And I see that was just a tactical move in my eyes. The state of New York wants to sue them and hold them
It's just a
liable.
financial move.
Well, they want to. The
Bankrupt,
state of New York is suing them for liability of all the firearm shootings and atrocities that have happened. That anything that has to do with firearms, they're trying to sue the NRA. Oh wow! For billions of dollars.
Where do you get
Are
off?
people
Yeah.
retarded? I mean,
It's
sometimes I
crazy.
wonder.
That's like suing.
I mean, what kind of moron?
That's like saying,
What
okay,
court
let's
will
sue.
that hold up in?
Let's sue
have
Forks
no
for
idea.
making people fat. It's amazing what they think they can get away with. So the NRA said, all right, we're going to file for bankruptcy, so you can't get a dime, and we're going to move to Texas where we've got an easier ride.
Yeah.
And not
I think
to
a lot
mention,
of businesses in general moving to Texas.
I'm not saying about
You
moving
keep
to
going
Texas.
crazy. I'm moving
God
to
bless
Texas.
I'm looking at moving
Let's
to
have a
Texas.
shout out to Texas.
Texas, hey!
Hey, I've
shout
had
out to
offers
My
to move to
son's
Arkansas.
York hockey.
I've had
York
offers.
hockey is right now in a tournament.
Ooh, York hockey.
York hockey, Dallas, Texas, because they can't play in Illinois because of the special.
Okay,
people.
tell us where the home ice is for the Elmhurst,
York Dukes?
Illinois York Dukes.
I don't know. Maybe I can't divulge that information.
Oh,
I'd
maybe
hate to
not.
jeopardize the team.
Yeah, we don't
but
want to jeopardize.
right in my backyard.
Never
It's
mind.
outside of Illinois.
We don't know what happens these days anymore. We don't want to say anything too much.
God bless the Democrats.
At the end of the day, this is about guns, so let's keep it there. As far as what do you think moving on in the future, though? So that's just a political move for them, basically.
Oh,
is what you're
absolutely.
saying, but-
Well,
I think
what's a
just like
financially
any company
smart?
files bankruptcy,
Yeah.
so they're not liable.
Exactly. So not liable for it. It's a frivolous lawsuit to begin with. It's ridiculous. Not holding a person accountable. They're trying to hold everyone accountable. So yeah, they're moving to Texas for that. I think honestly, in my opinion, like I said, I think the NRA needs some restructuring anyway. Some of the upper management there, CEOs
So
included,
it might be a silver
needs
lining
to.
thing or a
Are you thinking about taking
an addition by subtraction?
Yeah,
almost
I'm thinking about taking the NRA over myself.
There you go. I mean,
But
you probably
the way
should-
they've been treating it,
That's a whole other podcast.
the way they've been treating even shareholders and just every member should have a voice. That's in my opinion. Every member should have a voice. If you
We
send them a
believe that
dollar,
here
they
in
need to have
Bonfire
a
Banter
voice.
as well.
Every person.
Everyone has a voice.
Everyone has a voice.
No
Everyone.
topic
And they've been
too
treating
small
a
or
lot of their members
insignificant.
like crap.
Everybody's.
And no one should wear shoes because grounding is a thing.
Dude, at least
Can't
Oh,
get energy
yeah.
to the earth.
all right, Wim
Grounding
Hof.
for sure.
Geothermal.
I love it.
Thanks, Wim Hof.
I don't know.
Why don't you keep going with that?
Let's not get
I
too
100%
crazy
support
here,
that.
you know?
No, I'm a massage therapist, so I like
just keep
that.
running that
All right,
action.
She can dig it.
I could dig it.
We
Man,
don't
that
see
thing
it. Gotta
is
get out of here.
smooth, huh?
We get to get. He could dig it.
That is smooth, huh? You just
Yeah.
tap it and
Dig
she closes, huh?
Hey,
Supposed to close on. Supposed
did
to
I
close
mention-
on its own.
Did I mention that barrel's ribbed for your pleasure?
Oh Lord, I don't know. It looks a
For
little
cooling.
thin.
On that note, we're going to sign off for this segment. We're going to be coming right
that
back to
note,
you in
that's
just
the
a
note.
minute.
Thanks for having
Bonfire
us.
Banter. We'll be right back.
Juice Bigelow, the male gigolo.
Oh,
Only on the weekends. We'll see you soon.
Since he's fucking boring.
You know what though?
Dude,
I'm
he's
brand
a
new.
savage.
That's what everyone keeps telling me. I want to see
He's a
this kid.
Savage.
I'm brand new.
Rolling?
Hazing. You know what I mean? Like you need to haze people. You know, like how
And
do I
we're back.
know?
Bonfire Banter.
Oh,
We'll
got the
start on
banter.
that.
He being full of
Bye,
facts.
guys. I love you.
I respect
Fellow
that
ones.
kid more now.
Bye.
By the way.
Mwah. I love you, V. All right, so we're back here. Bonfire Banter. So we got Cody on this segment. And
sir.
Cody's telling me off screen, he's like, I don't know a ton about guns. He's like, I can be a guy who ask some questions.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what we're looking for. So,
What you
you know,
got?
first off, do you own any guns?
I don't. And my whole thing is
gross.
that, you know, I never grew up with that. I don't have any family members that maybe they, do, one thing that they hide away.
Yeah.
But, I never had any family members that went hunting or anything like that. That just wasn't in our scope, So I don't know much about it.
Put a bump.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. Right. So I just don't know much about it. I don't have anything, I don't feel one way or the other about them at all whatsoever. I support the right to bear arms, of course. But I'm interested in learning as well. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. One of the things I know we talked about the last time we had you on, and again, these are a lost episode that we had.
Lost tapes.
We've talked about these a couple times.
The B-sides.
But Dave, I know one of the things that I really liked that you were talking about the first time that we were on is, with concealed carry and stuff like that, is the laws. Like, you go in, and I feel like a lot of people that don't know much about guns are like, oh, concealed carry, I'm going to have my gun on me, and like, if some bad guy says something, I'm going to shoot him. Like, that's not really the case. And I know he had said the thing that he was on here last time, it's like, it's a weapon of last resort. And kind of speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, it's a tool of last resort. I like to think of firearms as tools, but yeah, it's a tool of last resort.
Yes.
It's not for when you get in a heated argument. It's not when the Bears play the freaking Packers. You're like,
Sure.
All right, these guys are going down. These cheeseheads are going down. No, it's
We're not going to make it
resort.
Swiss cheese, right? We're not going to.
I think we just lost our guys.
Yeah, they do that when it gets too cold out here.
No, exactly. Yeah, like I said, I have a firearm pretty much on me at all times. I try to avoid any heated conversations. Any, somebody cuts me off in traffic, I let them go by. I don't even think twice about it. It's actually made me a nicer person.
Absolutely.
But if I absolutely have to use it, push comes to shove, my family's in danger, my wife's in danger, my kids are in danger. Guess what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to pull it out and I have to do what I have to do.
So
Doesn't matter how big or small somebody is there, you're leveling the playing field.
Right.
I'm equal. Exactly. I'm leveling the playing field.
Well, you know what? I think this is interesting because here's a guy who you have your concealed carry license.
Not
is
only
that
does
right?
he have that, he teaches it. So
Right.
he
Well,
gives
there you
other
go.
people
Right.
the
Illinois
license.
State Police
They-
approved concealed carry.
And here,
instructor.
to the point of, some for me, because I'm looking at it from the outside,
Yeah.
and I'm learning about it and things like that. And some people say, nobody should have them or whatever. That's extreme, but whatever it may be. But here's a guy who, is like well into it. And he's very level-headed. He's talking about how, he has no intentions of pulling it out, regardless of the situation. And it's a
not.
last
Gun or
resort
whatever,
tool. You know what I mean? So I just think it's interesting that a guy who knows all about it and is probably very interested in it
I love
is
him.
very level-headed about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that just speaks to, you can't worry,
And
if you know what I'm saying.
To what you're saying of like, I feel like a lot of people that didn't grow up with guns around, they have this idea in their mind that like anyone that owns a gun is like, ah, pa pa pa, like it's
What's what
crazy.
they thought
like,
about
a
with concealed carry.
stereotype. Is that what you're
When
talking
the
about?
concealed carry went off, everyone thinking like it's gonna be the Wild West.
No,
Everyone's gonna be
everyone's got a
running
gun.
through the street,
Yeah.
bam, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
like,
what is the old cartoon guy? He's
Yosemite
Elmer
Sam.
Fudd?
Yeah.
Elmer Fudd or Yosemite Sam. Sorry.
bam, bam, bam. No,
I
Were
think
they
his
both gun?
His
What's
mustache
that?
is cool, but
Sweet mustache.
Elmer Fudd was I way
Elmer
off?
Fudd was a
Oh,
shotgun.
you're right, yeah.
He was a shotgun guy. He was a
rabbits.
yeah.
It was definitely a
Rascally
shotgun.
Wabbits.
It's wabbit season.
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
wish it was rabbit season. They are
I
delicious.
wish it was wabbit season too.
See, now you lose me there. They're really
If it was
cute.
rabbit
They're
season,
cute.
I can
delicious.
eat some ducks, but I cannot.
I'll
do
It
t-
that.
seems like the cuter the animal, the better it
tastier.
tastes. Like,
I've heard turtles.
You
really
cannot
good.
eat my
turtles,
cat.
great.
Really? That's
I mean,
interesting.
I mean, what's the coldest thing you could probably think of? I mean, I'd love to eat a panda. Maybe. How much would you pay for a panda sandwich right now?
I mean, they have a really clean diet of like bamboo and stuff. I know
God
that.
damn it!
It probably
like
makes
this
them more
at all.
muscular. I think. A little meatier.
Hey, if you start talking about killer whales now, rabbit.
a panda.
A panda.
I want to taste
Panda,
every
panda,
animal
panda,
possible.
panda.
I have so many foodie friends. that
Whoa,
say the
whoa,
same
Oh, easy. Dude. I don't got that big of an appetite.
thing. Wait, what did he say? Wait, what did he say?
Tubby, hey, that's a plug for Tubby TV, by the way. If you guys haven't checked them out yet and you're into Pokemon or you're into video games,
No.
check out Tubby TV and you'll know all about the panda we are speaking of.
Nice.
So,
No, I enjoy
shout out to
women,
them.
so it's
Shout
probably
out
not
to
a show for me.
Yeah, shout out to Jay and Joe Create as well. Thank you guys for supporting us, and thank you, Jay, for again our logo and everything else artistic wise that we do is coming from Jay Nasca, and all of his avenues that he's promoting these days. He's got quite a few different things. But thanks, Jay, one more time.
Yeah, I wanted to say towards the
Yeah.
like hunting and animals and things like that.
Yeah.
Like all jokes aside, whatever it may be. I don't know if personally I would be able to line up a bow and arrow
And take a life.
or a shotgun and shoot a deer or again I don't know much about it, so I'm not sure. But I don't judge people who are like our boss. He loves to go duck hunting or goose or geese or whatever it is.
Yeah, I just got the invite for him, man.
And I totally
that.
understand it. You know what I
He's
mean? I
serious,
just
too.
don't know if personally I'd be able to. I wonder about it because I've never done it. And my family member, it's never been a thing in my family or anything like that. So I think that's a question for a lot of people. You know?
That's good.
invited-
Know thyself, man. If you're not interested in it or you're not, you don't think you're capable of it, that's great. I'm glad you know that about yourself.
Right.
Instead of just jumping out there into it and just be like, you know what? Let's see what happens.
Right.
But if you got the knowledge, you got somebody to take you out there, and that's what I've done to a lot of people. I've I don't know if you want to call me a dealer or what, but I've got a lot of people addicted. I give them a little taste. Yeah, I give them a little taste, and next thing you know, they're like, boom, off to the races,
Well, that's
man. They're buying
my
some more,
buddies.
Dave.
My
Give me
buddies
some more.
tell me that too. They're like, "You've never shot a gun." He's like, "Come to the range with me."
You
Like,
haven't shot a gun.
to be totally honest, I've never shot. I've held one before. I've never shot one in my life or anything like that. So that's where
We're gonna get you up in the UP.
I'm an open
very
guy.
soon.
So like
You're
That's
part of the
you know
family
what?
now,
You're
so
the
we-
ideal student. You know why?
Yeah.
I've got guys who come in.
bad habits.
I've got guys who come in the classes. They're like, I've been shooting my whole life. I know everything about firearms.
I'm
this, that."
self-taught.
And I'll be like, all right, well, pick up this firearm. And they pick it up and they're like, and they don't know what they're doing, and that's fine. But that ego pit pops in.
Absolutely.
If you come in
Yeah.
and say, you know what, I really don't know a whole lot. I'd love to learn, and then I start showing you a few things,
Yeah.
you're more likely to soak that in and do what I'm telling you.
And be a
is-
responsible gun owner type thing, you know?
Let's not go that far. We'll see.
Well, the only reason that I would, and I've truly thought about buying one and things like that.
Yeah.
It's only the only reason I haven't is because of financial reasons.
Yeah.
But I'm truly
They're not
looking at
cheap.
you know
You'll be
one-
there next year this time.
That's right.
Mark my words.
Yes, I
Let's
truly
get
want
you
to
into
look
a
into
class
it.
and let's get you started. My intro classes are ground up.
Yes.
I've done
And
this
you
class.
don't have to have a gun to take his class.
You don't have to have a
Okay,
gun.
nice.
You don't
Yes.
have to have a Ford
So
card.
same thing to you. If you want to take one of his classes, and anyone out there that wants to take one of David's classes, you don't actually need to own a firearm to take his
Absolutely
class.
not.
And in fact,
I got plenty
you-
of firearms for you to use.
in the same class that he teaches his concealed carry. Can't you also get them their FOID and their concealed carry in the same class?
I don't give them to them, but we
But-
go over the steps to what you need to take, the requirements, and we
to
talk
take
you
the
through it.
test, or is
There's
that
no test for
how
a
does
FOID card. So there's no age on a FOID card either.
Wait, I thought you had to be 18 and above.
No, there's no age
Really?
for a FOID card in the state of Illinois.
Wow.
So if you're under the age of 18,
That's a
you just
little
have a
weird.
parent
No,
sign
no,
off.
I don't think it's weird
But
at all.
you have to
But
be
I know
21 or
people
over for
who.
concealed
Well,
carry.
I didn't come
Okay.
from, and I want to say what you said. I don't actually come from a family that, like, other
Right.
than my
One
grandpa,
relative.
my grandfather.
Right, okay.
And that's really one of the
Seems
few
pretty
that I know.
standard. Yeah, your grandfather's into guns. Yeah, it seems pretty
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah. Well, and then one of the few relatives that I know.
Yeah.
Right.
But even though growing up in Chicago, and I have a lot of liberal friends, and I kind of
Right.
come from an underground, sort of semi-famous scene.
Okay.
Very, very, very fucking liberal. We do
Right.
have those people sort of peppered in between that have different opinions.
Sure.
That vary from the liberal mentality.
Yeah.
Well,
I
everyone's a
agree.
liberal.
I agree with what you're saying, though. Like, even though I don't come from that shit,
Right.
I don't think that it's smart to think that if you appreciate the Second Amendment, that means that you are right-wing American. I'm
Absolutely.
gonna shoot you
I
up.
appreciate you
We're
saying
gonna
that.
charge the
That's a
Capitol.
smart opinion. Yeah.
I really don't, I don't agree with, I do lean to the right, but
Yeah.
that's only because of what I know so far. I'm
Yeah.
younger, and I've just been getting into the political scene.
Yeah.
And right now, I fall in line with those type
Ideals
of
and-
views,
yeah.
on certain things. But I'm open, I would love Joe
I'm
Biden
the
to
same way.
convince
I
me the other
flip-flopped
way.
in my life
But
already,
I
yeah.
appreciate that because, it's more of just, what is it, a constitutional right?
Yeah,
is
yeah,
what it-
right.
and I just agree with that. If somebody convinces me otherwise, I'm open to
Right.
it.
I
But-
had someone tell me the other day, they looked at me and they're like, "Oh, you're a firearms instructor? Well, I can guess all your views." I'm like,
Wow.
"Whoa,
Wow.
wait,
Wow.
wait a minute."
Yeah,
I thought we were getting away from stereotypes
Dude,
and
it was
things.
like, oh, you like
Hashtag
firearms?
PC movement.
Yeah,
It was like,
come on.
motherfucker.
Oh, you like firearms? Boom. Here's everything you like.
No,
I'm like,
I
wow,
label
that's
you as
bullshit.
a certain guy.
You know
and the
what
way
that
I
is?
look and everything else, they're like, I know everything about you. I'm like, you don't
But
know
like you
everything
have
about
no
trying to tell me.
idea.
Like, you'd have
I
no
am
clue.
secretly a transvestite. Check the Instagram,
And that's,
motherfucker.
and that's me, not Dave. Don't get it twisted.
Surprise! I cut my hair like this. I'm not this bald.
Dave,
This is a ponytail, baby. This is real.
I wanted to say to Dave's point, I think that speaks to kind of a deeper thing is where, you're painted with a broad brush.
It's amazing.
Just off of one
It's a dangerous
thing that
game
you
and
maybe
a
support or
dangerous
believe
game.
or something like
Yeah.
that. And you know what I mean? It's kind of like, because of that, like you believe in this, therefore you are this.
Yes.
You're
Yeah.
categorized
Yes.
as this. You know what I mean? And why can't it be that maybe I fall in line with this and I also with this?
It's a two-party system.
Oh,
It's
no,
gotta
no.
be all
You guys
messed up,
are-
I feel
Exactly.
Like.
Oh,
no,
you-
If you have one, if you have one view that leans one way, it's like, well, you don't
I know.
believe in
Yeah.
You
science
are-
for women.
Yeah, if you have
And
the
now
balls
you're
to
this.
stand up and
It's
say
like,
something
okay.
that is different from the people that you come from,
Yes.
which is what I've gone through. Which weirdly though, because I'm kind of a fucking asshole, and my friends know this. Like I'm a loving asshole.
That's the
they're
best
not.
kind
They're
of
not.
asshole.
They're not. Like I've had a couple of friends that would look at me like you're a Trump supporter, and I'm like, motherfucker, you know I am not. First of all, I am not of this planet. I say it all the goddamn time. So I'm
alien
not
here.
in support of
We got an
any of
alien
this.
here.
I want to have a party somewhere between Mars and Venus. I
Yes.
say it all the time.
We're all. Most people are in the center. Most people are
people
a
are
little
in
bit
the
of everything.
center.
You know what? Most people just want to live the best life they can.
common
Right.
decency. And,
Oh my
yeah,
god!
But there-
you know
I will
what?
say-
It's the
and-
squeaky wheel gets the grease.
and
It's the
I
loudest
can't-
people we're hearing the most from, and it's
Yes.
Well,
ridiculous.
that's
I'll let
exactly
Jade finish
right.
in a second, though.
Yes.
Hey, let Jade finish.
But I honestly can't say though. Like that's the one thing that pisses me off coming from Chicago, being a Northsider. and being around a lot of very liberal people, the people who I know who are somewhere in between are silenced. And these are people who are strong fucking voice
because if you lean one way, then by the other side, they're gonna label you as something.
Right. And I've been one of the few people that's like, bitch, label me. I'd rather go down in history being labeled because I'm a huge Dave Chappelle.
Woo! I agree with
I like Dave Chappelle.
Pay the man.
Boom. Pay that man.
I joke all the time that me and my friend Chad are going to be co-presidents in 2024, and Dave Chappelle is going to be our vice president. But the reality is, he probably should be president and co-president. All of it.
I heard a really smart thing from I forgot who it was, but they said that Dave Chappelle is our generation's Mark Twain, and the reason why they were saying it, the reason why they're saying it is just that I feel like Dave Chappelle at this point in his career. I lean more right these days.
He shut down Netflix.
I lean. Yeah,
I'm surprised Netflix aired that. To be honest, I'm surprised that.
Good for them. They're supporting him. Pay the man.
Yes.
And I tend to lean a little bit more right these days. I've told you guys before on the panel here that I did vote for Obama in 08 and 12, and I did vote for Trump most recently.
Because of what you know so far.
Yeah, because I am a flip-flopper. Because I am a kind of person that you give me some certain ideas.
Well, you're open-minded.
And I'm willing to change my mind on things.
Colion Noir, who you know is a black man
baby.
who supports, he actually admitted on Joe Rogan and has admitted on his own show that he supported Trump, not because he believes in Trump, because he was trying to balance the fucking scales.
At the end of the day, I want any president that walks in that office to succeed. I'm an American.
Awesome.
Well, that's exactly
and guess
right.
What? I voted for Trump, and Biden's going to take office. And guess who I'm going to vote for to be the best president, or who I'm going to root for to be the best president from 2020 to 2024? No. Joe Biden.
Well,
that's who I'm going to root for to be the best president.
I'm hoping he does the best job he possibly can.
Yes,
because you know why?
He's our president.
He's our president.
We live in
no
this
matter
country.
who's the president. I'm hoping whoever it is does the best job for all of us.
And that's the difference, is that conservatives lately, and I'm talking about the past 4 years and now, and possibly the near future, is that we're painted with a broad brush. You know what I mean? And there's people like us, everyday people. You know, not saying like the everyday voter type thing. You know, the people who feel like they're maybe lost. You know, like their voices aren't heard.
Kind of what Jade was saying.
We're open. You know, we support the new president or whoever it may be. Like whoever is our president. We support that man
Americans.
because we want the best for everybody else, and we call ourselves conservatives. If that's a fair statement between us or whoever it may be here, and regardless if it's a Democrat in the president's seat, we're supporting that man.
Yes,
because we care about the American people in a general aspect.
Dude, we're getting so far.
Yes, we are.
It's weird that whenever firearms are brought up, though, politics are right behind it.
But it's impossible for it to not. It's really impossible for it to not.
That's sad. They should be completely different things.
Let's talk about the NRA going into bankruptcy.
Is that something that we touched on a little bit on the last one. Yeah, a little bit on the last segment. He was kind of saying, Dave was kind of saying that it was kind of seemed like a political play because they're stuck in a spot in New York where they don't have a whole lot of other outs, from what it sounds like. Is that this is a smart financial move to restart?
Yeah, like
it's a frivolous lawsuit, so they're just doing the best option possible. So they're taking the best route. So obviously they've got amazing financial advisors, amazing legal advice. Yeah. So they're just taking the best option out. So they're going to opt out of New York, which is... Dude, New York, LA, all those places. This max exodus is from both those places. Yeah. Max exodus from Chicago, exactly.
Well, Dave, I have a question for you. You said it right as you were starting. You said a financial decision or something like that. So they're based out of New York. Is that right? Or
currently,
and they're going under bankruptcy in New York.
Correct. They're going to file for bankruptcy in New York, so then they're not liable as much to. To these lawsuits, so they wouldn't have to pay out as much of these lawsuits.
But they're alive in every other state, or I'm trying
I'm actually curious about the same thing when you say
I'm no expert in the current NRA standings, where the lawsuits and liabilities may lie. Yeah. I am no expert in any of that stuff.
Right.
That's a lawyer team that is way beyond my.
I kind of put him on the spot a little bit.
As a high school dropout, that's way beyond me.
On this in here next time. We need a team of attorneys.
My question is, if they file bankruptcy,
but it's a smart move. move.
Is it only in a certain state, or is
I have
it like
no idea
as
how
a,
that works.
Okay.
No clue.
So from what it sounds like, though, is that they're just moving camp. It's kind of like Elon. I mean, Elon Musk just moved all of his stuff from California. He's going to Texas, too. It just sounds like a lot of these guys are just realizing that why run this in a state there I'm going to get taxed out the ass when I can go to a state where I'm not going to and have the same amount of space and everything else. It's not like they're hurting for space to go start up some huge, Amazon center or something like that in Texas. You can go buy some land that no one's living on. And
I'd like to say something to that. For example, Amazon was going to create a new headquarters or something like that in New York. And AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, was in the media, was one of the people that kind of diverted them from doing that because they were going to get a tax break or something like that. So I think that plays a big part in it. They're almost like Elon is getting to the point where he's done with LA, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to move. For example, I know this is silly, but Jake Paul, he's moving from LA to
one of
those
money, bro.
He's making millions of dollars. I mean, the guys are not millions, but he's making a lot of money. And anyone, when you start to make more money in your life and you start to look at that amount that the federal income tax is taking out or your state tax or whatever, you start to think a little bit more about it. When you're a teenager and you're looking at it, it's like, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's only a little bit amount. But you start to make some more money as we become adults. You start to feel like...
Well, what did 50 Cent say when he said he was going to vote conservative? Because they're not going to tax as much.
The tax rate was ridiculous.
So instead of turning... He's like, man, I want to maintain 50 Cent. I want to become 5 cent.
I don't want to be 5 cent. Yeah.
Right, there you go.
All right, I think we're getting real far off. I hate to say
really.
that.
No,
We're getting real far off the firearm stuff. I think we do
we're right
ourselves
there.
a disservice, though. If it seems like you two might have some firearms questions.
Yes, let's go.
Do you want to do Q&A,
I think
maybe?
you're totally right. I think you're totally right.
Please ask me. I'm ready to
No,
go.
so here.
I wouldn't mind you guys asking me.
Yeah,
something.
Cody, we'll go to you first.
Maybe
here.
something you guys might want to know.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So as far as when you hear about concealed carry or stuff like that, or semi-automatics
anything
or something like that, where they're getting, they're being banned or whatever. Do you have any general questions? And if you don't right off the bat, I might be able to shoot the Jade too, but I don't know.
I would say that.
Let's bring this on. I've got a little something special for the bonfire band.
Okay.
Oh, what do you got?
I want a little.
Oh, is it? Oh!
Nice.
Is this him? What was it back in the day? It was.
Is that the ashes of your?
No, what was that?
That's a little gunpowder here.
What was the show on Nickelodeon that used to do that?
Oh, are you afraid of the dark?
Are you afraid of the dark?
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd put a little.
Yes.
I wanted to christen and grace the bonfire banter fire with a little bit of gunpowder. Bring a little around the firearm
Thank
stuff
you.
here.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
So
Dave.
on that note,
Yes.
I'd love to get some questions from any of you. Anything.
So
anything about firearms at all.
My question is, because I've never shot one, and I got a buddy who just started getting into it, and he's gone to the fire range a couple times, and he's gotten a few pistols for himself. And for me, because no family members, have never done that. What is the kind of the drive, or what creates that enthusiasm from people who go to the range and shoot it? Why should I go to the range? Because people tell me, Cody, if you go to the range, you'll love it, blah blah blah.
Well, I call that the Pringles.
Pringles. One time, can I just answer one quick thing and you could take it? You said you've never shot a gun before, right?
That's right.
It's the first time you shoot a gun. It's like the
what's
first
the
time you have
craze?
sex, kind of, in my mind, because it was like
That's a low
rush.
standard for me.
It was like a rush. Wow. It was like a rush because you know about it, you hear about it, but then you feel the energy that little tool is
it almost scares
giving
me.
out in your hand. You shoot it, and it's like, whoa,
wow, that's amazing.
This is powerful. It's like the power behind it's kind of
and now my buddy,
infectious.
he used to kind of criticize me for being a conservative.
Yeah.
And now he's the one going to firing ranges and telling me, Cody, you have to go, blah, blah, blah. And that's where, it's not like I'm sitting there thinking, that's stupid. Who cares about it? But I want to know, what is the
thing for
the
It's like
intrigue?
Pringles, man. Once you pop, you just can't stop.
Right.
So you get out there. And
I haven't done it, but I feel like I already know what you're talking about.
Well, there's that aspect of it, but it just.
He's like this motherfucker over here.
I mean, there's a reason.
She's so sexual.
At the firing range, at the gun range, you usually have mops behind you. There's snail trails all over the gun range. So usually, but once you start using a firearm, it means something. It feels it's just natural. It's something about, I don't know whether it's just being a human being, it's being a man, it's being a woman. It's just something. Just natural. It's in your body.
The power
and then,
in your hands.
Well, not just that. It's just
for me. It is a little bit.
Does something about the Second Amendment kind of kick into you that like this is
Well,
like
well, a little bit of
my
that.
right?
Do
Well, a
legal
little bit of that.
terminology go through your brain.
I know it sounds
No.
silly,
when
but like
you
this is my right.
ejaculate that bullet.
She just said you ejaculate this bullet.
So
Dave,
it's a little
I
bit of
know-
that, but
you know what
once
I'm
you do
saying.
it
It's like all
and you
of it.
start
All of
competing
it.
with yourself,
In
it's like,
one
wow, I want to
second.
get better at this. This means something to me. I can defend my
So it's
family.
kind of
I can
like
defend
it's kind
myself.
of
with
like
this.
golf. When you get a good swing,
Damn.
you want to keep going back to it just for that good
And
swing.
I was
Like,
going to
when
say to you,
shoot
okay,
it,
You
I was
feel
gonna-
better.
I was going to relate it to anything in the sense that once you started shooting, like the first time I shot, a lot of it was in Michigan, and these guys are hitting targets, and I'm missing them, But then you start to watch them, they're hitting them like, I'm competitive. I want to be better at this. I want to hit the target. I want to these guys we have like metal targets up in the UP we shoot,
Sure.
and you hear a plink.
Right.
So when you hear
It's
it,
satisfying.
but it sounds cool
I've
as
kind
hell.
of lost that competitive
Yeah.
side of me. You know what I mean? Where like if I see somebody doing better, like the only
Yes.
reason I'm doing it is because I want to compete
you
with
wanna
them.
best
It's like the
People
caveman
living in
inside of you.
competition.
Yeah.
All I want is my peace of mind type thing.
What's
but
that caveman inside of you? Like, I want to be better at this. I want to be a
Yeah.
better hunter.
So
I
I
want
want
to
to
be a
hit it down the
gatherer.
middle. I want to know,
almost-
like, if
I want
someone
to be
walks
the
in my
alpha.
house,
It's
I want to be
almost
the good at this.
animal instinct.
It
kinda
is.
kick in a
It's like
little bit.
that's what I'm saying. It's in our gut. It's
And
in
maybe
our
that's what I'm
bones.
afraid. I'm afraid that I'm going to get like so into it that now I'm spending all my money on this.
It is a
and that,
hobby.
I'll get you hooked, bro.
'Cause
I
that's
mean,
what
it
I have
is.
with video
I'll give you a little
games,
taste, and you'll get hooked.
It is, like you said, I don't know if you were out here for that. He was saying he's like, I'm kind of like a dealer, or what do you use?
I don't
know, I
want to
was
be a dealer.
right here, yeah.
You know how many people I've had come out to? I'm like, oh, come out to the range. Like, I've never done. I'm like, just come on, have a little taste.
What
little
is that
taste.
called? What-
Come on.
He's
not-
pure
not an
pressure in you.
instigator,
He's
but
pure pressure.
yeah.
But you come out, you shoot a couple times.
He's a
and
pusher.
9 times out of 10, someone shoots a gun, they look at me and go, oh, I'm going to do this.
And I know I'll be like that, but I can promise you that my only reason for getting into that field of things, shooting it or whatever it may be, is because my intention is to only use that to protect myself and my family.
If
And
you're
if
going to do
heard
it,
him
you
in
might as well
first
be the
segment,
most professional.
That's what he's talking about.
And that's what I
is-
love is that,
yes.
and that's what bothers me sometimes is that like there's kind of a stereotype. They paint it with a broad brush for people who are into guns or whatever it may be.
You're
that
going to try to
you-
murder.
That like you're a bad person because you support that or whatever it is. And the only reason I would get into it is because of that. Is to protect myself and my family. It's not because I want to post on my Snapchat, look at the, guns I got, type thing. And
I'll do
we
that
have
too.
friends that do that, which to each
I'll do
their
that.
I don't.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
No, that's I have I have buddies that do that, and I'm kind of like, like what are
And
you
the
really
stats
in
that I would
this
like
for?
to talk about that I know Dave probably knows something about, but I'm sure that this stat is going to work out in my favor, and me talking off the cuff here, but the amount of gun owners versus people that kill people with homicides is probably the smallest percentage, lower than COVID death rate is
Well,
what I
can
would
I
like
say
to
something
say.
that might
Well,
spark
absolutely.
a
But,
conversation
yes.
between us is hearing about like gun control and all that type of stuff is if I could be wrong on what I know, but I think it was Australia that did something like
Took
taking
all the guns.
Yeah.
and
Yes.
crime went up.
Ireland is
They
the same
attempted
way.
to take all the
and
guns.
countries or states
crime went
or
up.
whatever it is.
Yep.
Quick thing, Ireland, not even the cops have guns.
Real,
I found that out recently. Not
that's a
even the
little
police
crazy.
force has
Sucks
guns.
for them.
They beat people down with wooden sticks.
in
They
Australia.
count
you're
on
strong-
that God to chase the snakes out, to chase the
Yes.
the criminals out.
You
too?
are correct.
In Australia,
It's like getting rid of chokeholds. It's ridiculous.
Their choice, if I understand it correctly, in Australia was to like ban all guns or
Yeah.
whatever, or collect all them or whatever,
Makes
and
it safer,
It didn't
yeah.
work as far as I
Well,
know.
they-
Like
well, they
statistically,
did.
crime went up.
Well, they did ban all the guns. They got all the guns from the law-abiding citizens. Do you think criminals were like, well, we can't have them. Let's
can't
turn
have
them
'em.
in?
Turn 'em
Crimi-
in.
No,
what's the
crime
saying?
went through
Criminals
the
are
roof.
they break the law, so they're you know what I mean, whatever, something like that. But like my thing is that Texas is open carry or something like that.
Open carry,
and they
yeah.
have very low
Crime rates.
whatever it is. I could be wrong on that. That's as far as I know. But that's where people say like we have to take away all guns and things like that. I think that's the wrong route to take because you hear all those stories. Like a lot of liberals will want to bring to light a story of somebody pulling out a gun in the wrong way, and then to the same thing, there's a story of somebody pulling out a gun and saving 10 people in a grocery store.
Those stories aren't on the news quite as much.
Well, that's
No.
it. Well,
Because
they
Well, if
people
it
don't
bleeds,
die.
it leads.
Of
Because if
course
it bleeds,
not.
it leads. It's not exciting.
Because if you save somebody from ever getting shot and no one died, that's not news.
No, it's not fun.
my point,
It's not exciting.
Right.
My point.
You
to
pull the
that
gun, you
is-
save someone. That's
Right.
not news because no
Wah,
one died.
wah.
Oh yeah, and actually, the Night Stalker.
like, who
I'm
cares?
not gonna give anything away but I just watched that.
Give anything away?
I love that movie. I
Wait,
watched
give
it a
anything
couple
away?
times.
30. It's like a 40-year-old story.
I was gonna
Spoiler
say-
alert!
Okay,
Night
yeah,
Stalker.
I
More so,
know.
the more and more I'm
But
learning
I
about
actually
Jade.
didn't know about
the
that
more and more
guy.
I'm learning about you, Jade, is I think you're
killer.
welcoming
Just
the
kidding.
Night Stalker. I think you're
I
one of
love
those
that
ones.
movie. I
You
love
watch
that movie.
certain.
How many alleys are you walking
You
down?
watch certain.
He's like looking through
isn't
my
that- isn't
soul.
that-
Did you see his teeth?
certain
Who's the
websites.
actor? Who's the actor at Nightcrawler?
Certain websites Jade watches.
Night
that-
Stalker or Nightcrawler?
Oh, she said Stalker?
Yeah, you think Jake Gyllenhaal?
Oh, yeah. I was thinking of a different thing.
Great movie though.
Yeah.
I love
Here's
that.
the thing. It's because I would annihilate.
The Night Stalker?
100%. 100%. Okay, never mind. We're getting into
He's
another
pretty good at what he
topic.
did.
This is
pretty
a
good.
different
I just wanted to
podcast.
say
He's pretty good at what he did.
I digress.
the tie-up of what I was
So Ed Gein was amazing. You want to talk about?
Cody, what are you saying?
You want to talk about
the
skin
tie-up
lamps?
to what I was getting to is that I'm still on the fence of do we take away guns from people, like have harsher gun control or more like tighter, or
Hey, can
do
I-
we
can
have
I- can I
open
say-
carry
can I say
like
something first?
All
like
gun laws
Texas
are an
does or whatever.
infringement.
So he's kind of asking a question of like, what makes the most sense? Do you take them away? Do you leave them for free?
You can't take them away. All gun laws are an infringement.
And that's a question to everybody on the panel
And
type
again,
thing.
let's let Jade maybe
And-
answer this one because she doesn't
Here,
know a
I'm not
ton.
gonna-
I'd like to hear her opinion.
Honestly, it's not even an opinion. Well, I guess it is. In definition.
Don't talk to the side. Talk right to the top there.
And I honestly, it's not the whiskey talking right now. You know what? The only way we would know how to answer that is if all the guns were actually taken away.
Yeah.
Well,
And
they
you know
happened
what?
in
You know what?
Australia.
Okay, here's what
It
I'm
did
going to
not.
say about that.
Was I wrong?
They failed. They failed on trying
Right,
to get them.
100%,
Okay. Let it
100%.
go.
But it's not just there. It's also states in America, or it's also cities in America.
Right.
Like I bring up Colion Noir because, and that it's not his real name.
Yes.
He talks about that, and he's a fucking attorney. He's
Correct.
a black man who's an attorney who's actually said, when you look at cities, and Chicago being one of them, where you take away people's right to bear arms, what happens?
Crime increases.
Fucking what did Mayor Giuliani? I'm not going to go.
Statistics increase, right?
It's really fucking aggravating the fact that, and I did this research a while ago, that Harvard actually did a study on this, and they broke down the different places all over the world, where I think Rio was one of them, where they had taken away the gun rights because, like, in what happened in Australia, where something happened and they went, fuck it, you guys don't get any guns. But in the UK, I think it was the UK, and I'm not 100%
Sure.
because I
Might be
didn't
they
do
took the
research.
guns from the UK.
There was fucking more knife attacks and there was more acid. I'm
Well, that's 'cause
sorry,
they opened
but
their
I'd rather be.
borders, but yeah,
I'd rather
right.
be right. But we can say that. We can say that. But if you take away people's right to bear arms, and I didn't come from the South. I came
Sure.
from a liberal agenda.
Sure.
I came from fucking fucktards. All right.
Sure.
Fucking fucktards. Fucking fucktards.
Well, I would say more relatable, kind of
It's
a
not-
general kind of upbringing that
You
a lot
know-
of people could relate to.
100%.
Fucking
Right.
fucktards. Yeah.
Fucktards. Fucktards.
That was my-
That's most of our family
But
upbringing,
in
so
all
let's get real.
honesty,
Yep,
if,
I was fucking
if-
fucktards.
It's fucked up though that if the only way to know the answer to this is if it actually happened. And I'm sorry to say this, but I do feel like I guarantee if they did get the opportunity to do that worldwide, we would actually see something way more awful than we can even fucking imagine.
So you're talking about a trial, trial by what is it? What's that saying?
Trial by
Trial by
fire?
fire.
Trial by fire. I mean, there you go. It's almost like a type of thing you never know until you try it. Type.
You know
thing.
what? I'm happy. I hope I'm not here by the time it happens.
I agree, and I think Dave would wholeheartedly agree. He's
Yeah.
What's your opinion on this?
I mean,
Like-
there's a reason. There's a reason that so many other countries haven't attacked us because we have a right that many other countries do not have, and that's the right to bear arms. I mean, we're our own militia. We keep tabs on ourselves. There's a reason our government hasn't risen up to the powers they want to be. I mean, left, right. I don't care who you are.
Right.
All government wants to be all powerful.
Right.
Once you give power, they don't want to give it back. Just like our current governor. I'm not going to mention names, but he's got the power right now to take away people's livelihoods.
Yeah.
Now that
Right.
he has that power, you think he wants to give it back?
Right.
No, it's just like
I
king.
have-
It's an
I have
oligarchy. No. So if we didn't have the right to defend ourselves, if we think something's wrong, to stand for ourselves, to stand on our ground and have something, a tool to defend ourselves, who knows
I
how
have
far
an
the government
argument
can
against
push
that.
back.
You have
100%.
We have no clue, and thank God we won't know how to find that.
No, we won't know, but I will tell you, like, I always think about Hunter S. Thompson. I wish I could remember the quote exactly, but he basically says like,
"Good in the morning."
Like no, like we're fighting back not to win. We're fighting back just to like hold some ground here, and that's pretty much
all we're
what
doing right now.
That's what we're doing.
We've given
right
up
now.
too much already.
Right.
Like I said, all gun laws are infringement.
Right. And see, and
common sense gun laws, there's no such thing.
And I never, and I did not, and I said that before, and I'll say it again. I did not come from any of this background. Really, I came from it. I came at it from a place of I came at it from a place of fucking
of
common
logic,
sense. Right?
Common sense. Thank you.
And of somebody who,
with your own mind. Thank
yes,
you.
somebody who
Look
has
at
been
the facts and make your own decision.
who has experienced tyranny and oppression. Somebody who has
Hey, Bobby Brown,
experienced
beer me, bro.
being less than. And through my own questioning, I have arrived at the Second Amendment, amongst many other things. The First Amendment, all
Hey,
of
beer me that beer.
being able to say what the fuck you need to say.
Right.
Once you take that away from me, I may as well be goddamn dead. So I'm just gonna say that I think I didn't come from anywhere that has instilled in me guns.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I came from
you know what,
Chicago,
though? But
very
you don't-
liberal.
You know what though? That's the thing. You don't need that back. You don't need someone to tell you, "Oh, you should probably have guns."
No, but I want to say that for
When you
people
grow
who
up-
would say, "Oh, well, you're a Trump supporter. Oh, you're from the South." Blah, 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 blah.
Nothing to
Not
do with
your bad.
politics.
Bullshit.
It should-
No,
That's
it's not.
painting with a broad brush.
Yeah,
which
It should
is
have
the
nothing to do
problem.
with politics.
And I
or where
think
you're
he's
from.
weird and orange like a lot of people, but I'm not going to hate on anybody who believes in him. I just don't think he's
And
the
again,
answer
it
to
goes
it all.
back to the thing that like we support. I want the president to do well.
Right.
It's like it's our country that we're
Right.
living for.
I have a question for the panel.
Yes.
Which is, for gun control, that whole argument type
Yeah.
thing, is, like, do you think that there is anything that should be? Are you open to a discussion about maybe, for lack of a better term, maybe improving gun control? Is there anything that you think that we could do as like a Congress or government,
That's a good
whatever,
question.
that
Yeah.
would
Make it better.
improve? Yeah, to make it better. Even though we're already doing a lot of background checks and things. Is there
It's a
anything
good
that you
question, though.
think
I
that would?
think yes, absolutely. I think we should enforce the gun laws we currently have.
Yeah. Okay.
Currently, right
So
now, if
what
someone
is that? What do you think could enforce?
Well, right
harder?
now, if someone gets caught with a firearm or something that's unlawful using a firearm, they go into court system. They go in, they plead their case, they get right back on the street in 2 days.
That's
Like, it's
right.
ridiculous.
So what do you know? Like the law for owning a gun and getting caught with an unlawful gun?
There's like nothing. It's like a misdemeanor.
So
And
it's a
not just,
misdemeanor?
I'm not for stricter laws. I think all gun laws are infringement.
Okay.
But they want more and more and more laws. Well, if you want more, you have to enforce the ones you currently have.
Yeah.
Well,
That's-
well, my
The only
right.
ones impacted by gun laws right now are lawful carriers.
That's right.
Yeah.
My only problem is that they say
ridiculous.
we need background checks, we need this and that.
They're not working.
We have all of those things. So if you're talking we need more gun control, let me know what your solution is to the
To make
problem.
it better.
And I will listen. But all I hear is this problem, and we need this, we need that. Wait, we already have that. We have a ban on assault rifles, right?
Even with just what you said, though. Like, that's a really big thing. Like, you get caught with something that's not registered.
And you're right back on the street. It's a slap on the
See,
wrist.
that-
There's
that
nothing
Seems
going on
fucked
right
up,
now.
too. I agree with that.
You know,
It seems fucked up.
you know how many convicted, like people who've been proven as a murderer are back in the street right now?
See,
it's
that's
amazing.
Yes,
fucked
I-
up.
When concealed carry first went through, there was thousands of applications processed.
I know that's a
for
bigger
people
problem
who are
now
convicted
than before, yeah.
murderers. When I was a kid, I grew up thinking murderers were in jail forever. That's it.
Right.
You murdered
Yes.
somebody, you're in. Nope.
Yeah.
There's so many murders right now in the streets of Chicago.
Is
Right
that like
now.
crime
Yeah.
of passion?
I don't know
crime?
about
No,
that.
no.
I don't know about
Absolutely.
that.
The crime of
Absolutely.
passion?
I
Is
personally know
You'd have to
murderers.
afford a really good attorney for a passion.
Well, I mean, like,
I
if you're
personally
standing there
know
and you're in
murderers.
court and someone like did something bad to your daughter and you killed
Right.
them, you're not going to get a life sentence for that. But like, is that what you're talking about, or we're talking about like
No, I've
some guys in a gang that kill someone?
Absolutely. and
I
they're on
think
the
what
street.
he's talking about is a justice system now
Is fair.
that is basically making passes for people who are committing crimes that back in the day would almost live up to the death penalty.
Absolutely.
And they're walking free because of this PC
Is this
culture.
good lawyers? Is this why?
Fucking
crumbling system.
systematic
It's a horrible,
Did you guys
bullshit.
hear about
system.
what they just passed in Chicago? It was some type of police reform where
my
it's
gosh.
something about
Did they pass-
bail.
Did that pass?
Yeah, something about
Passed.
bail where like
Heard
you don't
it's
have to
not
meet a
good.
certain
It's
bail
ridiculous.
for something.
Not to mention
or
they got
whatever.
rid of chokeholds. Okay, I am for chokeholds. Do you know why?
How are you going to subdue a large man?
There's two ways to knock somebody out. One's chokehold, which does no damage to their brain. The other way is beating them
if they
about the
cut off
head
this
until they fall asleep.
Oxygen
You know how
to their
bad that is?
brain. I mean,
For momentarily. and you wake up,
you release, and the oxygen's
and you
back.
wake
There's
up,
no
there's
brain
damage.
Yeah.
You know what happens if I hit you in the head multiple times till you pass out? You have permanent brain damage.
Yeah. That's why UFC fighters can get in a chokehold and they're fine.
Exactly.
10 minutes later.
I think I'd rather be choked out than beaten over the skull.
Yes.
So
Not only that, but I hear it's a lot like certain ambient drugs where it's like Twilight. You know what I mean?
I've heard of that.
Not just I didn't light it up.
All right. Well, real quick,
No, I
want to
love
give
that.
some shout outs here. JPL Property Services just dropped off a face cord for us. Fantastic stuff. It's going to be keeping us on the panel here warm for quite a while. So thank you to Jim and JPL Property Services.
I did not.
Real quick, Jess, let's get Jade, not Jess. Jade, let's get you to sign the X. While I'm doing my little I'm doing my sponsor pitch.
All right.
So next to them, let's go to More Brewing Company. If you guys are looking for unique craft beers and artfully crafted food, look no further than More Brewing Company in Huntley. They got a large establishment. It's got most of their brewing equipment stuff there. They also have a smaller location in Villa Park on Villa. Check them out.
And
They're
I want to say something
Their
about
marble beers are amazing.
Yeah.
Marble beers are fantastic.
I want to say something about More Brewing Company. I'm down the street from them in Villa Park, and the staff has been absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, from the top to the bottom and everything else, their food is phenomenal. The beers are always great, and they're changing all the time.
Yep.
I mean, it's
cheese
just
curds.
a diamond in the
Top
rough.
shelf.
Yeah,
Top shelf.
absolute everything. Check them out and just give them the opportunity to show you that they're living up to the expectations that we're talking about.
Yeah.
I can guarantee
do.
you won't be disappointed.
Absolutely. Lastly, York Furrier in Elmhurst since 1931. Exceptional furs, fine outerwear, and unique accessories. They've been doing it for a long time. They're not new to the game. If you're looking for high-end outerwear, go to York Furrier on York Road in Elmhurst. Check them out. The other thing that I love about York Furrier is if you got a hat like this and you happen to sit around a ton of smoke and it's smoky and it's dirty, you could just take your current furs. Don't have to be purchased by York Furrier. York Furrier will clean and condition and store your fur goods. So they're not just you don't got to go there just to purchase something.
Right.
You can go there to get your a hand-me-down for an heirloom in the
And
family.
it's quality for an affordable
and
price.
cared for, and bring it back to life a little bit. So
I wonder if I could talk to them about taxidermy.
I mean, you bring something. I know they can do something. They know what they're doing. If they can't do it, I'm sure they could tell you someone that would.
But to them, they're affordable for good quality, and
If
you
you're
don't
looking for
have
good
to
quality,
purchase
yeah.
from them. I mean, it's just
Absolutely.
an all-around good company. type thing.
Absolutely. So thank you guys again. I don't know if we're gonna do it for a second. Maybe if we got some time. I think we've hit on just about everything. But
It's been great so far.
Shit.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'd like to say thank you for Jade. Jade, I think I got you for the next couple episodes now because you might come out
probably.
for the comedy next week,
I'm hooked.
and you got a small
Like
business.
that gunpowder.
Hey, plug your small business real quick. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm a clinical massage therapist. All I do is house calls. I wipe everything down during COVID, and I wear a mask the entire time.
Where can
Dave.
we reach you at? Where can
Yeah,
where can
where
everybody
can we
reach
reach
you
you?
at?
Facebook.
312-662-2602. Heal Chicago 312 at Instagram. And my website is healchicago@gmail.com.
Okay, hit her
Beautiful.
up. Jade, fantastic human being here. We didn't really know her coming into this. So happy you joined us, and she's going to be a
Drag me
mainstay
in
here. I
from
can feel it now.
Craigslist.
She's going to be on for the next couple episodes here. Dave, plug what you got to plug.
It seems like that bonfire fire seems to like you.
Oh,
I
coming
really
right
should.
at her.
So
I know,
yeah,
I know it would.
my
I know
name
it would.
again. My business is Fast Firearm Safety Training. You can hit me on Facebook. You can hit me on Facebook. Email. Facebook is Fast Firearm Safety Training, or look up my name, David Dubose, Dubose. Phone number 331-201-0160. Email is daviddubose11@yahoo.com.
And lastly on that, I want to say to Dave's point there, he's doing his thing. I want to one more time say, he's doing his first class in March. We have a special Bonfire Banter special concealed carry class only. You have to call Dave and say Bonfire Banter concealed carry class. That's the only way you can get in before March.
Hit me up.
Okay? That is the only way. It's the only one he's doing. Is for us.
New to firearms, seasoned firearms vet, new, used, old. Let me know. I will get you from the ground
And
up. I've
again-
done this class from people who've never touched a firearm before in their life, all the way up to a U.S. Air Marshal.
You don't need a gun to take the class.
No gun, no Ford card.
I just want to say Bonfire Banter, very open to networking.
Wow.
If anybody is open to getting on the panel or sharing their ideas, whatever it may be, or collaborating for any type of show they have, please reach
Always.
out. We are very open to discussing any type
Yes.
of topics with any type of personality, whatever it
Yep.
may be. So please reach out.
Cody, couldn't have said it any better myself. So thank you so much. Thanks for coming on back on here.
It's my pleasure.
I appreciate it. Bonfire Banter. We'll see you soon. Keep stoking those fires. Have a great night.
Boom.